this because that's I'm okay with playing almost anything when it comes to random combos, but I'm not gonna play a Spriggan because I think it's impossible to enjoy a game where you're playing as a Spriggan, because you can disengage from almost any fight with very little difficulty, um, and that's a really bad thing because it makes it annoying to play the game. Like if you want to play correctly and you want to win, I guess doing so with a Spriggan is not really that difficult. But on the other hand, running away from every fight the moment that you get hit once is pretty miserable when you have um, no armor class because it's gonna happen constantly throughout the entirety of the game. And like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that today. Like, if my two options were not to play Crawl and having to play Spriggan or Cat, I think that I wouldn't play Crawl. Pretty sure that I won't play Crawl actually. So yeah, no Spriggan Gladiator for me. I shouldn't have even started it. But I can play a good Draconian Chaos Knight. That is perfectly okay. Mace. Maybe should have gone for swords, but I already picked a mace, so that's how it is. I got summon doggy. Is that a good thing? I don't think so. I don't think that I'm gonna be going for summons. Though Draconian is in a uniquely good spot for going for spellcasting, since they get access to no armor, and by extension they won't ever get hindered by armor. Casting is much easier for them while still remaining reasonably robust for a melee character. I still think that going for a summon is not something that I personally want to do. It's not something that fits my playstyle, you know? I am really not used to just casting one spell at the beginning of every melee fight. I'm much more used to tabbing. And then I tab so much that I forget that I have access to those resources, so I end up going through the game without using them. You can see it in many of my playthroughs where I go for Wereblood or something like that, and I end up not using it. I'm gonna get a bit of strength, but I think that I should go for dexterity way more than I should go for strength. Very lucky for me to have found boots and a cloak, enchanted boots and a cloak to be precise, on D1. That means that I have 8 armor class on D1, which is pretty crazy high for this point in the game. Oh, we even found Curare too. Man, that's crazy. I should get rid of this thing. This is a pretty awful item. That item shouldn't be in the game, in my opinion. It's so bad that it shouldn't exist. Okay, got a friendly giant cockroach zombie. I guess that's okay. It's not a bad thing. Okay, that's something that I cannot really deal with at the moment. So I think that I am gonna have to leave the level, or at least attempt to do so. You know, it wouldn't be uncommon for some to kill me. That's the kind of thing that some really likes to do after all. I do have some buffer at least. Oh, look at that. Okay. Got a Scarf of Invisibility with a bit of stats. I don't particularly care too much. I might want to... Oh man, don't blink bolt. Okay, that's fine. Wow. Oh, some did that. Some did that for me. Still not enough to deal with the shapeshifter. It turned into it is a tarantula, so I might be able to kill it with poison. Okay, I might be able to kill it with poison. You know what's the sad part about this? That this is worth a ton of experience, but I'm not gonna get a ton of experience. It is almost dead and very poisoned, so it might die soon. Okay, okay. Some really like that. I actually got 2 levels, wow! So I did get the whole experience for it turning into a shapeshifter. Cool. some did that for you. Feels like something you'd see on a religious billboard. My stream's only showing console. Thank you for letting me know. I can switch to tiles. You know how it is. I'm not gonna remember to switch to tiles. Okay, that's enough strength. I got the strength mutation, so I am going to get dexterity on my future level ups so that I can actually hit things. Um, okay, these guys don't have polearms. I think the one that had a polearm already died. I got a net. Cool. Well, no, I got a tropa, but a tropa is completely worthless, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Man, I keep forgetting about changing my RC file. I guess that I should do it right now. If I can do it in the middle of the tournament, I can do it in the middle of a normal stream. Let's see. So how have you guys been doing so far? I've been doing okay. I haven't really felt like playing Crawl. I don't know if you have noticed, because it's very obvious since I haven't really been playing on stream, haven't been streaming. But yeah, the reason why I haven't been streaming is because I don't want to play Crawl, and I don't want to force myself to play Crawl because I feel like it never goes well. I don't play well, and I don't enjoy the experience, and by extension, I don't make good content. Um, Okay, so I want to add an auto inscribe to some items. Want to add it to the scroll of what is it called? Man, I don't remember them. That's why I want to. That's why I want to rename them. I want to inscribe a scroll of revelation with magic mapping. And I want to inscribe the potion. Enlightenment, I think it's called, but let me search for it. Yeah, the potion of enlightenment. With I accidentally pressed escape while editing my file, so I gotta make sure that the edits did get saved. I suppose that they didn't. Kind of annoying that escape does that, and yeah, they didn't. So give me a second. We're almost done. Okay, this time we're not gonna press escape. We're gonna press save. And now I'll have that as soon as I save and reload. Yeah, I think that when you're streaming, it is important to enjoy what you're doing. Okay, some just gave me regen and horns, which I guess is okay, and a barb too. The barb might add a good amount of damage. Um, I think that I'm still very likely to abandon some the moment that I get a good option for a god. Yeah. When it comes to like enjoying the stream and enjoying streaming, that's why a lot of people recommend against trying to make streaming into a way of living. Like, don't try to make streaming your job unless it is already your job. Like, because it might be pretty painful in case you feel like you really have to. I don't want to go with Jian, so I'm not gonna go with Jian. I went with Jian recently. Yeah, it might be painful to stream if you feel like you must stream. We got Wujian, the Shining One, and Xin. I'm not gonna go for either. The Shining One is pretty okay, but I don't wanna go Wujian or Xin. Okay, careful with the possibility of a priest here. There were no priests, fortunately. Okay. Convenient, some confusion there. Unnecessary, but appreciated for sure. Okay, so we got to the temple. The temple has 6 altars, none of which I'm particularly compelled to worship. So I guess we get out of the temple. Yeah, okay. I think that I feel like going Ru. Because I like Apok. Apok is really, really busted. Apok is kinda silly. At a pretty high cost, to be completely fair. But it is still kinda silly. Okay. Your scroll of acquirement falls out of your pack, then immediately jumps back in. Funny messages. That's a staple of going some. Okay, some. I have some extremely dangerous jacks and curare that I can use to kill them. Oh wow, some almost tried to kill me. Hey, look at that! I'm a white draconian. That's pretty useful. Pretty useful to get my level up right about now. Okay, that's not helpful some. These guys are almost permanent, so yeah, really not helpful. At least I am strong enough to deal with those jacks. Like, those jacks were extremely dangerous, and I still managed to kill them. 3 jacks at the same time, and the imps in a corridor. That's like on D4. Man, the stars aligned for like all the bad things that can happen when you're a worshipper of some. That's the kind of thing that kills people. For some reason, I managed to survive. And then we have Sigmund, but I'm level 7, so Sigmund is not really that dangerous. Killing the shapeshifter was a huge boost when it comes to my character's power, I suppose, because it gave me a ton of experience. It gave me 2 level ups, and that's why I am level level 8 now. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, gotta be careful with large amount of scorpions. Oh, it's a beam, that's perfect. Extremely convenient that it is a beam. This feels like a pretty strong character, not gonna lie. I guess it helps a lot that I have regen, and I have level 2 of this Stinger, and the horns. And I won't get slowed by cold attacks again, fortunately, because I am a white draconian, so I get cold resistance. Very convenient. I still have the mutation in case I lose my cold resistance, funnily enough, but I will try to make it so that it doesn't happen. Some, in case you didn't notice, made the war moccasin hasted there. That could have been pretty dangerous. I still felt like I could kill it without using the breath weapon in case more monsters appeared. And no more monsters appeared, but I still managed to beat it anyway. Pretty good, yeah. The one evaporates and reforms as a null. Okay, that's pretty easy to kill. Unfortunately, I don't care about that. You have a +3 dagger. You know what, I have to kill you. Now I have to leave. Okay, no. Oh, come on. That's gotta be a joke. I might be dead. Yeah, I don't have magic mapping identified. I was trying to search for Dubesa while walking past the one, and then I was like, okay, that's a terrible idea because at this point in the game, a null with a +3 dagger actually can deal a good amount of damage, and then Dubesa immediately appeared after I killed the one. Okay, found teleport. Please don't kill me while I am waiting for my teleport, Dubesa. Or Giga poison me, that's also a concern, because I don't have potions of curing. What is Dubesa? I don't know where Dubesa is, but I think I teleported very close to where I was originally. I don't see Dubesa anywhere. I'm gonna try to walk in. Oh, man, that sucks. Terrible teleports. Okay. Okay, let's just leave this level. Yeah, I teleported up like 5 spaces. But I looked in the map and there was no Dubesa, so I didn't know where she was. And she immediately found me like the turn after I teleported. Pretty awful, but at least I have 2 scrolls. I think that if I had read identified and not found teleport instantly, that would have killed me. I think there was a very legit chance of that. Dubesa is definitely not the one that you want to kill first, because Dubesa is pretty strong with her Perma Berserk. If you think about it, being Perma Berserk is a pretty terrible fate. Yeah. Okay, we got Gosak. I think Gosak makes a lot of sense. Yeah, let's see what we have. Uskayo, Behumet, Sifmunana. We're going Gosak. Yeah, I only started Chaos Knight because I went random. Amulet of Regen, that's pretty good. So I have no attachment to some really. Yeah, no full run some because I feel like that's likely to kill me. Oh, scroll blinking found. That's pretty lucky. Means that I can read identify everything else. But on the other hand, I already have acquirement, so why would I read identify, right? Oh no. I have 4 heal wounds and 1 curing, so I think that wasting the curing to heal the confusion here is not as good of an idea. So I just waited it out. Fortunately, I didn't take any damage. We killed the priest, we killed the wizard, we killed the rest of them. Yeah, that went very well. Have we not found Darflails? Because I really want a Darflail. I also want the Phantom to blink me. Okay, it didn't blink me, but it did put itself in the way of the ogre. That went very well. And by the way, my stinger is a poison stinger, which is pretty helpful. Minus a scroll might be an issue. I hope that it is not, but it might be later on. Oh, Morningstar. That's a good thing to have. Slight upgrade. Not as much of an upgrade as a Darflail would be, but still an upgrade regardless. Deals more damage, swings a bit slower, but dealing more damage is a pretty desirable thing at this point in the game. We're gonna get Dexterity, as I said earlier. I guess that I should quiver my breath weapon, so that I actually use it a lot more. Books, we don't care. I got Subdued Magic, which is kind of a bad thing, but it's not really that much of a bad thing because I wasn't planning on casting anyway. So, if anything, it's an aid to help me cast some spells like utility, low level, easy to get castable spells. Like that makes it even easier for me to cast them. Got a position so that I only get hit by monsters in one direction. Breath Weapon doesn't do anything to the Orc Warrior. I have to say that White Draconian is not as strong as other colors. The Breath Weapon pushing monsters back is actually pretty cool, but it's not very reliable. Like if it was 100% chance of it happening, then it would be amazing. It would be so strong. But it really is not. Yeah, not all breath weapons can be as strong as the Pale Draconian's breath weapon. Not only was the cooldown shorter, it was also a really strong effect between the clouds and the obscuring line of sight effect. Okay, it's a good thing that I have so much regen. Like, it really is such a big deal to have so much regen. Should have kept walking away. This might be an issue. Should I teleport here? Because I don't want to get hit by a million attacks of opportunity, or even worse, get barbed. If I get barbed, I think I die, so I think that I re-teleport. Or well, I would have died if I didn't have blinking, but I do have blinking. Okay, kind of rough, but we emerge victorious, and by that I mean we didn't die to the death trap bolt that for some reason you get into when you go downstairs. That kind of thing is there to make you realize, oh, I clearly should not be fighting through all of this, and you go upstairs and then you go downstairs. But since there were no dangerous monsters immediately visible, I thought that it was okay. And it was just an ornamental vault, and I kept going, but very clearly that wasn't the correct thing to do. At least I didn't die, I suppose. Could have been worse. Let's see if I can hit the two priests. Cannot hit the two priests, so what you do is position yourself in a spot where you see 0 priests, and you go at them slowly. There's still the 2 priests. Okay, they have noticed me. It's fine. Now I see the 2 priests. We go for the breath weapon. That does very well. Yeah. Alrighty. The regen, the 2 sources of regen, because remember I have 2 sources of regen, is doing so much for this character. Like I feel like my HP is barely dropping, and even if I do get hit, it is not gonna be as hard as to make it scary. On the other hand, I don't want to fight an ugly thing, even if I have. No, I don't have anything. Yeah, fighting an ugly thing is a pretty dangerous thing. I can fight a white though. Nothing. Nothing. Priest goes for the smite. We use breath weapon. It doesn't immediately kill the priest, but it does soften it enough so that I can easily kill it. I should maybe be checking some of these books, because maybe I find maybe I find swiftness, which I do want, and I can buy it immediately, and I can probably learn it immediately too. It might not be difficult. I also want blink, of course, very strong spell. Okay, you know what? I can fight them all, but not in the open. I need a corridor to deal with all these kobolds. Or at least with the brigands, because the brigands are the scary ones. The ones that have curare and stuff like that. Or poison darts more frequently. Oh, it did get auto-inscribed. Yeah, that's nice. I added just earlier in the stream, I added some auto-inscriptions to a couple of items. To newly introduce the Scroll of Revelation and Scroll of, or like Potion of Enlightenment, to remind myself that they are in reality Scrolls of Magic Mapping and Potions of Light. You know, once you have memorized certain items for such a long time, it's very difficult to adapt to changes in their names that come accompanied by rather minor changes in gameplay. They still fulfill the exact same role as before the change, so I just like added a reminder. It's not the first time that I do something like that. I also did it for darts. They used to be darts of confusion and darts of blindness and darts of stuff. So when they got renamed to Atropa and Datura, I just like added an inscription to remind myself that they were, the darts that I know. An abandoned shop, okay. And a couple of jacks. Nothing to really be worried about. I have the breath weapon after all. I can theoretically breath weapon kite monsters, which is pretty vile. Okay, that's a sling. It's not a bad sling at all. Okay, things are getting kind of out of control now. I don't like this. Yeah, things are getting out of control in the sense that I could have theoretically continued to walk away, but I exposed myself to getting smitten. And now I expose myself to attacks of opportunity. I still have regions, so I'm just gonna take advantage of my regen as much as possible, and walk away instead of fighting if I can. I need to curare this guy. Hope that it doesn't hit me and the priest destroys me. Okay, we're fine. Maybe Wand of Charming. It obviously doesn't work. If it says 30%, it might as well be 0%. And I knew it, and I still chose to attempt it. So it was my mistake. Gonna try to go downstairs here, okay. What happens if I go upstairs? What horrors are awaiting me upstairs? I think we're cool to go upstairs. Not that I really need to, if you think about it. Um, wow. Okay, big damage. I took so much damage. That was a lot of damage. I think that I have to blink. Alternatively, I could use Cossack Potion Petition, but I should blink. Um, there's a good amount of options that I have here. Like I could try to kill the two-head ogre. I could try to blink. I could try to drink a heal wounds. Blinking is the safest way to get away from this. I think drinking a heal wounds actually is the better choice. Yeah, because the two-head ogre can also miss just like that, and I can afford to, or I can save a scroll blinking like that. And I think even if it had hit me, it was unlikely that it was going to kill me. So that went okay. It was kinda rough, but it went okay. Oh, I accidentally overtrained maces, but I guess it's fine because I still haven't gone beyond min delay. I checked just in time. We're gonna get 15 fighting to go alongside my 15 maces, or my 16 maces. This Manticore is killing me super hard. Oh, you know what's been carrying me? Like the reason why I have been able to get away with not training any fighting so far? It's because I have two sources of regen. Without two sources of regen, I would have already been dead. I would have already been killed, that's what I meant. Or I would already be dead. Okay, you know what? I have Curare. And I think you're pretty scary, so I'm gonna Curare you. I'm also gonna use Breath Weapon. Okay. Okay. Man, shoutouts to Regen. Regen is such a crazy strong thing to have access to. All these whites with scimitars and stuff, but no whites with Darflails. Come on. Is it too difficult for the game to generate a +5 Darflail for me? Oh, maybe. Okay, killing this guy is proving to be very difficult. Not unexpected, unfortunately. Okay. I went for the net. Maybe I should have done so much earlier, but we emerged victorious. That was pretty scary for a moment since it was... I had minus a scroll, so I wasn't able to blink to safety. Okay, some is killing me here. I might have to blink. I think that I would rather read a teleport. And drink a curing? I don't want to drink a curing. I really don't. If anything, I would potion petition for curing or for heal wounds. Oh man, 650 is so expensive. But it's between that and dying, I suppose. Okay. I landed pretty close. I might as well continue to fight these guys. Much more convenient position for me to fight a bunch of 5s. Oh, there's Central Warrior. That's pretty scary. You know what? I can kill it, but I need to do this in the smart way. And the smart way is exactly like this. Then I walk forward, then I throw Curare, and I just hit the guy until it dies. Yeah. Doing it in any other way would have ended in me dying to the Center Warrior, I'm pretty sure. Pretty strong fella. Especially for D7. Yep, we have seen some pretty high level out of depth stuff. Hmm. You know, maybe pushing away the Orc Priest as a melee character is not the wisest move. Okay, you know, I tried a 50% chance to succeed action 3 times, and I failed 3 times. I guess it's my fault for trying to do such a thing. Okay, I gotta keep in mind that even though my HP may drop kinda low, I'm still okay because I have 2 sources of regen. So regening to full HP is it's pretty easy. Like my sustain during fights is actually quite high. Mm. Oh, nice. D9 Bailey. It is really nice because I have I am experience level 11. I'm swinging. I'm in delay Morningstar. For this point in the game, I'm super geared out, super loaded. So if it has like a scroll of acquirement or a potion of experience, it's gonna be an easy grab, and it might be a complete game changer. I have magic mapping, yeah. Still no mace from all of these whites that I've been finding. Lots of swords, however. Oh, there it is, a dart flail. That's my weapon of choice here. Yeah, better than a Morningstar. Less accurate, but better since it is faster. And because it is faster, it is going to attack more often. Right now, I don't have issues with it being at min delay or so. It's already, like the Morningstar was already at min delay, so that means the Darflail is also at min delay. Um, so that's, in this occasion, not an upside of it, but it normally would be an upside. Lots of zombies. I wonder if we're gonna see something messed up like a necromancer in this bolt. As you can see, I'm powerful enough to be able to deal with all of the zombies. It's not really an issue. If anything, we're gonna get a ton of money from going to this place because I feel like this bolt might have a ton of zombies. The gargoyle is an issue. We have already seen that before. However, when I fought the gargoyle earlier, I think that I had 70 something HP, so this time that I have 90 something HP, it's much safer to deal with. I'm still gonna net it because I have learned my lesson when it comes to gargoyles. Yeah, okay, I like this bolt a lot more than the um, normal bolts in this place that have like an Orc Knight or something. Bumper with a bumper halberd is much easier to deal with. Wow. Okay. That might be a one game right there. I tend to underestimate the value of the Gauntlets of War, but there's a thing. There's like a huge difference between getting the Gauntlets of War in, I don't know, mid bolts and getting the Gauntlets of War pre-lair. Yeah, that's pretty big deal. Quite the boon for my character. Mm. I've also gotten some experience of Okobols already. I got File of Floods, Condenser Bane, and Sack of Spiders, which are most likely the 3 strongest ones. I think that it is not a terrible idea to get a ton of evocations. Yeah, we might get like 15. You have to get more now, unfortunately. It's a big nerf to Evocables, but who cares because I got Gauntlets of War. What did we get? You feel more energetic, you feel weaker. You feel weaker is bad. That means I lost my 4 strength. It's okay. I don't like it's bad, but it only decreases my damage a teeny tiny bit. It's not like it's preventing me from spellcasting because suddenly my armor is too heavy for me or something. Um, okay, okay. Got some good mutations, and then I got some enemies, including 2 Soul Eaters. The Soul Eaters are way too strong for me to take on. I have 1 pip of resistance to negative, but I still don't want to deal with them because they can do that, and like the spam of drain life is very real. It's very likely to kill me. Were those durably summoned? Or were they temporary? Okay, it's only temporary. That means that I can just fool around in the level or go to the next one and they will go away. Um, or go to the previous one as well. I'm gonna wait in this one and then I'm gonna auto-explore. Okay, what do we have here? No enchanted Darflails. It's okay. Like I'm fine with a +0 Darflail and the Gauntlets of War, but I would prefer, a +5 Darflail. That would certainly be quite nice. Heavy +9 Mace, definitely not. Great Mace. Uh, I don't think I want a Great Mace. In fact, like the Gauntlets of War make it so that my weapon of choice with this character is gonna be something like a Demon Whip or the Darflail that I'm currently using, since slaying gets better with a large amount of attack speed, and I have a faster weapon than normal in the form of the Darflail. An even faster weapon would be a Demon Whip. Fingers crossed for finding a Memon in the near future, since that guy always has a Demon Whip. Even a -1 Demon Whip would be strong enough, um, thanks to the slaying that I have access to. Hey, look at that, an altar to some. I won't go back some. I have no paralysis. I still am a firm believer that paralysis should always generate and charming should rotate with mind burst. And it should also have its chance to succeed increased. Yeah, if you think about it, mind burst. Mind burst and charming are kinda similar, while on the other hand, paralysis is a bit of its own thing. Like charming you want to use when you're fighting multiple monsters. Paralysis is something that you want to use when you're only fighting one monster, because if you paralyze a monster and you have a bunch of them surrounding you, like trying to fight you at the same time, you're gonna take a bunch of damage while you kill the monster that's paralyzed. You can also use it for defensive purposes, paralyzing something that's like in a corridor, but more often than not, you want to use it to kill a monster like offensively. Mm. I know that it doesn't feel that good to use a charge of paralysis defensively, considering how strong it is offensively. On the other hand, with Mind Burst, it works differently because Mind Burst, like you can use Mind Burst if you're fighting multiple monsters at the same time, and it's not that big of a deal since it's just a strong ranged attack. Okay, we got two. We got two portal vaults. At least the two of them are very close to each other. I try to speed run this. The two sources of regen. I do still have two sources of regen, right? Yep, I do. That's gonna be really helpful for doing the two of them. It means that I will not have to wait for that long. Okay. This Lair Bolt could have ruined everything if it had gotten Death Yaks, but fortunately there's no Death Yaks. The most dangerous thing was a Wyvern and I was able to easily kill it. This is a pretty strong character so far. Okay, one charge of Ice Blast. The game can certainly be pretty generous at times. Let's see what we got here. And I see a bunch of 650s. That's pretty scary. Yep, we cannot really do that. Randart Amulet, fortunately not on the 650s, though I do see a 2 there. It might be a Reaper. A Randart Hat versus a Ghostcraft. It's perfectly doable, I think. What's better, Randart Amulet or Randart Hat? I'm going to lean towards Randart Hat because I already have an Amulet of Regen, and Regen Amulet is the best out of the non-Randart Amulets. And on the other hand, I have no hat, so Randart Hat it is. In order for me to get the Randart Hat, I have to deal with a Farcraft. That might be painful. And a 650 as well. So no matter how I go at it, I have to deal with a 650 one way or another. That might be painful. You know what I can do? I can just go in, drink resistance, and then the 650 is not that scary anymore. And if I rush, and I will rush, I don't have to worry about the Firecraft anymore. Or like, I don't have to worry about the Firecraft either. Run, run, run. Firecraft, goodbye Firecraft. Still dealing a good amount of damage, even though I have the resistance. Okay, lost the resistance, but it was just in time. A Ring of Slaying. Okay, so now we have 9 Slaying. That's quite a lot for this point in the game. Yeah. The questionable amounts of defenses that I have are really compensated for by the fact that I have insane damage output. This would be a great character to have javelins or like maybe even ranged combat on. Yeah, in fact, ranged combat is really good on Draconian. Why didn't I think about that earlier? Well, I guess I can still do it. The hat is okay. It's not great. It does help my prospects of going for ranged combat. Um, yeah, it's seeming more and more like I could go for it. I can go for, man, there was a glowing arbalest. It's okay. There's a +5 sling, but it has contam. I don't like that. Heavy short bow, kind of bad. I guess that my best option there is the arbalest. That's on D6. Yeah, arbalest with 9 slaying, or the sling could also be okay. Wow, I just got hit for 31. That's not great. Do you have See Invisible today? Because sometimes it does have See Invisible. Well, it doesn't matter because I don't have potions of invisibility. It sure would be nice to have a little bit of evocations right about now for Condenser Bane to do something. Hey, the Minotaur got engulfed in noxious fumes. That's actually really lucky. Okay, hopefully it's gonna get confused. Does it have poison resistance? It doesn't. So it might get confused for real. Come on, get confused, please. Come on. Are you gonna get confused or what? I don't think it's gonna get confused. Okay, it's not gonna get confused. And oh no, it did get confused. Finally, it got confused. Okay, walk away from me, please. Thank you. Okay, now that it finally is confused, what do we do about that? There's really not a lot to do since I got hit super hard. Okay, this is standing on meth, so it might get confused again. If it gets confused again, that's really lucky. I guess File of Lots? No, not File of Lots. Sack of Spiders. Okay. We get a cool easy Bora and Scorpion. Okay, the Minotaur is pretty hurt. We might be able to kill it, and I hadn't thought about it, but we can definitely use Curare. We can definitely use a net. We can definitely use Curare again. There we go. That was kinda scary, you know? I guess I'll pick up the +5 sling. I might actually want to use that. Short bow of electrocution. That's also really good. Okay, that's really the only thing that we got from fighting the Minotaur, the short bow of electrocution. And okay, we're not really. No, wait, we might be an Axis character, and I say we might because it cross trains with maces. The Brodax might be better than the Darflail when I'm surrounded. Maybe. So I think that it is worth carrying around. Um, Okay, I had completely forgotten about that, but fortunately my regen, the fact that it didn't take me very long to do those things, makes it so that I can go here. Normally two Rhyme Drakes would be a pretty messed up sight to see, but we're fine. Yeah, we're completely fine. Glowing Shapeshifter Simulacrum. I guess it's okay. It's not that terrible of an enemy. Oh, this is the Jiva Temple, isn't it? It might be because it's Shapeshifter Simulacrum. Yeah, it is definitely the Jiva Temple. If I held on with some, A, I probably wouldn't be at this point in the game anyway, and B, I could go Jiva now. And I was thinking about doing so in the like in the small chance that I could get to Jiva. But I didn't do it. Yeah, it didn't happen, so it's fine. Skin of Zor, that's not really anything that we care about because we cannot pick it up. It's nice that those walls don't hurt you anymore. I really like that. They only give you corrosion while you're stuck next to them, but they don't hurt you. So they're a bit more interesting now in the sense that you really shouldn't be fighting next to them. Um, but they're not gonna kill you the way that they used to be. Like you really shouldn't be fighting next to them, but it's not like fighting next to them is literally gonna kill you given enough time. It might kill you since obviously being corroded is not great, but it is not as bad as it used to be. I guess we could say that. Hmm. That's kind of bad. I don't want to fight those in this position. I guess that I'm gonna have to walk over here. Hope that the ice statue doesn't do anything, which it doesn't do. That's pretty nice. Careful with these slime creatures, you know? Careful. We don't want to have them combined, and we don't want to have them surround us. Both are kind of bad. Okay, I have to say that when it comes to me going in there, I am in a constant state of I sure wish that no slimes come my way while I'm rushing down the ice statue, because that could be a serious issue. And there they are. Okay. Um, I'm gonna hold on to this spot because the slime creatures are walking through the clouds, and that's hurting them. Okay, there's no more clouds. I can give away that spot, and it is important to do so since I was still vulnerable to getting hit by the ice statue. Man, I hit really hard. My damage rating is 32, with 0.6 delay. Pretty great. What do we have here? Fear. Okay, that's a good thing to have found. Hopefully we get more scrolls of identify later on. Oh, I shouldn't have walked away from the statue. Okay, okay, rampaging got the job done. If some makes a sudden noise, you hear someone calling from help. That makes a ton of noise in your position. I suppose that the person calling for help is your own character. Um, it was not that bad, you know. Like it did make some noise, but it wasn't as bad as a fireball, or as being a castle worshipper, or as Shield of the Gong, or Shatter, or Firestorm. Yeah, it was very manageable, is what I'm trying to say. Nothing that would actually kill me, unless there were monsters very close to where I was, which we have seen is not the case. Okay, come on. Alright, we're fine, we're fine. Yeah, when the largest slime creature was next to me, things got slightly scary, but only very slightly. Okay, so at the end of this vault there is Quicksilver oozes and a couple of Azure jellies. Yeah, those might be an issue. Um, I only have one pip of cold resistance after all, and I do not have a way to give myself more other than the potion of resistance that I have right here, but I don't really want to use it so early in the game. Mm. I have Wand of Flame though, and I have been training some evocations so I can soften up the Azure Jelly before it gets to me, making it a less dangerous fight for me. Now I know there's more, so I'm gonna be playing it very safe. Um, okay, this time we don't soften up the Azure Jelly as much as earlier, and it also hits me harder, so things are pretty scary now. Hmm. 2 red backs is not ideal. Definitely gonna displace my summons to have them protect me. No Quicksilver oozes? Oh, I guess the Quicksilver oozes must have been removed. Yeah, maybe. Maybe someone thought that they were kind of busted for this place. And if they thought that, they were absolutely correct. Yeah, because they were kind of busted. We don't need this ring of positive energy anymore, because we just got a pretty good ring. Poison resistance, resistance to negative, 5 evasion, 5 intelligence. Yeah, the slime jelly. Unfortunately, we're not going Jiba because I am with Gosag and I am not a believer of abandoning gods. But we did get some okay stuff from coming here, so no complaints. We even got the skin of Sor. Would certainly be nice if I could wear it, but I can't. Yeah. Your wings shrivel and weaken. What does that mean? No, really, what does that mean? Your large and strong wings let you fly. Was I flying? I didn't notice. The tiles change looks good for the player character. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Someone here has to enjoy it after all. Okay, I have Curare for this thing. It's pretty dead because of the poison. I'm still gonna walk towards it because I want to pick up my darts. Psyche. With a Wand of Mind Burst. Gonna silence Psyche for safety reasons, and then we kill Psyche very easily. In case you're just joining the stream, I happen to have the Gauntlets of War and the Ring of Slaying, so the character is currently in possession of 9 Slaying on min-delay Darflail. Unfortunately, the Darflail is nothing too special. It's literally the plainest Darflail that there is, but it's still a Darflail, and that's a really good thing to have. So yeah, things are going okay for this character. It's going surprisingly well for, being a Som worshipper, a Chaos Knight. Yeah, the ring that I got is really good. Poison resistance, resistance to negative, 5 evasion and 5 intelligence. The 5 intelligence part is irrelevant, but everything else is still pretty okay. Not as great as some other rings, but it's pretty decent. I certainly did need the poison resistance. I am going to do D12. Gonna play it safe. I already got shafted, so I'm not getting shafted into D15, and I'm okay. This would be a great time to have paralysis. Paralysis would be fantastic. I guess that attraction will have to make do. Hey, let you know, the sack of spiders is ready. Okay. And I have 10 evocations. I want more. I want 15 evocations. And I also want some other stuff, I also want dodging, evasion, and maybe range combat, considering that I have really large amounts of slaying. Imagine if I had range combat already. Yeah, like this two-headed ogre wouldn't have reached me. Throwing jabs, but I have 0 throwing, so throwing jabs doesn't really do anything. What is this? Oh, miasma. Fountain of blood with miasma. Okay. Doesn't look very appetizing. good thing that vampires no longer have to drink from potions or from fountains of blood. Mm, this level has 2 portal bolts. I'm glad that I was able to do the 2 of them. I'm level 13. That's kind of remarkable for a pre-layer character. It just goes to show how crazy the amount of experience that I have gotten is. Um, I guess that I'll get the money. Like, I don't really see myself getting any of the other things. I'll get 12 evocations. I wanted 15, but I also want range combat. Imagine how good range combat would be here if I had access to it. Man, this thing doesn't even reach 0.6 min delay. That's pretty awful. Quite disappointing, not gonna lie. Okay, this... Oh! Oh, it got buffed. Let's go. Man, I hated that they had base attack delay 1.5. Yeah, I mean, I don't like range combat altogether. I'm only really considering it because this character is the one character that cannot wear body armor, so it makes sense to go for range combat when I have so much slaying already. And it's like early enough in the game, like the stars align pretty much. It's impossible for this kind of thing to replicate itself. Um, I'm not gonna have many other characters with crazy amounts of slaying and okay launchers early on too. The fact that it's a short bow of electrocution is pretty good. Um, did it get its damage reduced though? I think it did. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad that it is 8 base damage compared to the 9 that it was before. Because 9 base damage 1.5 delay is pretty awful, and 8 base damage 1.4 delay is a mace. And maces are not great, um, but it could be. It is less bad than it used to be. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Um, Still not good, and still wouldn't use it on almost any other character. It's a special exception. Should quiver my breath weapon again, because it's gonna be useful here. You have a wand of digging. That means that I am very incentivized to make it so that you do not use it by just fighting you now. Do you have poison resistance? You do. I threw the Kirari, it hit, and it didn't do anything. I have Mind Burst, and I have a good amount of evocations, so it's gonna kill. Yeah, okay. Now we get some nets from Harold. That's pretty good. Throwing a net at Harold is like investing for more nets. Like you invest in nets that you're probably gonna get back anyway into getting more nets and making it easy for you to kill Harold, and also making it more likely that Harold is not gonna kill you accidentally. So it's pretty good, pretty useful thing to do. I don't really do that very frequently, but yeah, it definitely has my seal of approval. Um, I could cast Manifold Assault in the late game. Yeah, I do have Manifold, but I don't think a Manifold is that good unless you have like a super giga damage melee attack, like Storm Form or Dragon Form or Dark Maul. Um, Hypothetically, other heavy weapons could also be okay, but the reality is that you're gonna miss, and it's gonna be awful. At least with Dark Maul, if you don't miss, the monster is gonna explode. Dark Maul should just say that it insta-kills the monsters that it hits, except for the player, because there's some bolts that place monsters wielding the Dark Maul. It wouldn't be very funny to just get instantly one-shot. While it is the case that it can still one-shot you as it is now, it's much more likely to do so if it just one-shots anything that it hits. Range combat, range weapons. Yeah, -1 range weapons. Pretty awful aptitude, but it's fine. I still think about how it's pretty crazy that I took 5 years of French in school, throughout middle school and high school, and the only thing that I can say in French is that I don't know how to speak French. Um, yeah. On the other hand, I took it wasn't 6 years of English, was it? I think it was only 4 years of English because I don't think that I took English in my first 2 years of elementary school. I don't really remember. Um, and still I know how to speak English very well. I guess that one important difference is that I started learning English earlier in life, and also there was a reason for me to learn English. I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but the main reason why I learned English is because Yu-Gi-Oh was very popular when I was in school, in elementary school, and there was a dude that sold cards outside of the school right when the kids were going out, and that's how he made his living. Um, and so I got interested because everyone else got interested, and I got some cards, and I was like, oh, these cards are in English. I'm learning English in school. Might as well actually learn English and put it to use. And also, um, I was interested in learning how to play. So I wanted to learn how to read the manual and stuff like that because kids play however they want to without actually knowing how to play. And I was like, no, I want to play for real. Um, and so I read the manual and I learned to play for real um, using English. It was nice. Really helpful thing to learn how to do early in life. Um, yeah, that in turn led to me finding NetHack because when I found NetHack, I was I've told this story for sure, but I was in chat for a Yu-Gi-Oh simulator, like one of the oldest Yu-Gi-Oh simulators, YBD. It was manual and it was a program, so it was not like Dueling Network or Dueling Book nowadays that are manual but are in a browser. You have to download the program, and there was no queue or anything. You could just you like the only way to play with people was if they were in the chat, like you just asked for a game and they challenged you and you played. It was pretty primitive. Yeah, I didn't really like doing that, but I did like playing the game, so that's how I played the game. And I saw people in the chat talking about like, no, Excalibur is like the greatest weapon, and someone else was like, no, that's crazy. Frostbrand is clearly the best weapon. I was like, what are these guys talking about? And so I googled those things. Like I knew about Excalibur already from the myth, but I had never heard of something called Frostbrand. And one of the first results was the NetHack wiki. Um, and I searched for Excalibur in the NetHack wiki, and there was Excalibur, so it was very clear that they were talking about NetHack. And I was reading stuff. I was originally gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh, but I was enthralled reading the NetHack wiki, and and then I went to school and I couldn't stop thinking about the game. So I came back from school, and then I went to bed, and then the next day I got NetHack, and I played a bit of NetHack, and yeah, the rest is history. NetHack led to me getting pretty good at it, and then getting bored, and then trying crawl, and then here we are, 12 years later from the first time that I played crawl. Yeah. I was so close to not returning to crawl though, because my very first game was me in an entrance vault that had kobolds with darts. Back in the day, darts didn't deal damage. They were, or no, back in the day it was the other way around. Back in the day, darts dealt damage. They were not darts as we know them today that do not deal damage but deal like poison or other effects that you could theoretically get from them, but in reality no one ever gets a stealth and throwing, so no one gets access to those effects. Um, So the kobolds with the darts just killed me before I could even find cover. That was my literal first experience with crawl. I played a game right after that. Like I was like, wow, that was pretty rough. I don't know if there was anything that I could have done about it. And and the other game also I died, but I didn't die in the entrance vault at least. Um, so it was slightly better, but yeah, it was pretty difficult, and it was a whole new learning curve. So I didn't really get too into it until later that year because like my first scroll game was in January, but I only really started to get into it after I realized that I kind of hated playing NetHack anymore, which was in April that year. Mm. People that don't understand gaming condemn games, but my story is an example how gaming inspires people. Yeah, like not necessarily gaming, but like finding something that you're gonna use the language on is a pretty good way to learn a language. Like if you have a motivator, if you have a carrot dangling from the stick, you are very motivated to learn the language and to do things in life in general. Like, for example, I have a very difficult time working out, not because working out is physically difficult for me, but because I don't really find it enjoyable, interesting, or compelling. But I have no issues on like climbing stairs and running through the connections in the Mexico City metro system to get to the house of my aunt. She lives like an hour and a half away in public transportation in metro, and I am okay with taking that trip because I know that at the end of the trip I'll see my aunt, and I also get to kind of exercise a bit in the middle. But like exercising for the sake of exercising is pretty difficult to me. Um, for that psychological aspect that I mentioned. Um, similarly to that, when I used to work at Compicom so many years ago, like I think it's been like 5 years since I quit now. Um, I used to wake up at like 5 a.m. and like got ready to get out, and like I ran in the street to catch the bus, and then I ran in the metro to catch the metro, and then I ran in the connection to get to the other metro, and then I ran from the metro station uh, to the offices, and I obviously ended up being very sweaty at the end, but like it didn't really matter because um, it was not like a face-to-face job. It was like a call center job. I've mentioned it multiple times in the past. So being sweaty and like otherwise not presentable, like it was not really an issue in that job. And that was an okay thing. It did let me at least get a little bit of a workout before going in. Um, on contrast, like I saw a lot of people that also got early to the offices, but instead of like doing what I did, they just drove there and then they went to the gym. And I was like, hmm, I feel like you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table by driving here and then going to the gym instead of just taking public transportation. But I do understand that some people don't really like public transportation and they have the ability to drive and they are not bothered by driving. I think that's another important aspect. I personally cannot drive. I don't know how to do it and I have no interest in learning how to do it. I feel like it is a pretty dangerous activity, and a pretty costly one too. That's another important factor when it comes to me driving. Yeah. I bet listening to one of my streams is rather difficult. Despite all, I am self-aware that I jump between topics and topics, and that might be difficult to follow. But I do appreciate that you are still here listening to my stream. Yeah, thank you for your support. Mm. So I have to say that so far the short bow has been performing extremely well. But to be completely fair, it's been performing extremely well because I have access to no armor. If I was a character that was compelled to wear armor, I wouldn't be nearly as happy with this short bow. I would be like, oh, it's like taking 2 turns to shoot. I hate this item, but I have to use it because I have a ton of slaying and a ton of dexterity. But no, I am for once actually happy with my situation when it comes to a ranged weapon. Hasn't really felt like that in so long since the rework. Um, I should try playing Draconians with ranged weapons more frequently. Their aptitude is not terrible enough to make me not want to do it, so it's fine. Oh, Dark Flail of Framing. Upgrade. Upgrades. Goodbye, normal Dark Flail. Yeah, goodbye, Flail of Flaming. We're not gonna use that. It's not nearly as good as the Dark Flail of Flaming. Um, Cloak of Fire Resistance. That's a big find for my character. Very, very big find. Yeah, cool. It was worth it to come here just because of the Cloak of Fire Resistance. Um, it's good enough to enchant already, so I'm gonna do exactly that. Yeah, so far I didn't have any armor that was good enough to fully enchant. But that is most likely gonna be part of my character's loadout for the rest of the game. Um, yeah, this short bow is doing some wonders. Did you see that I killed 2 Death before the Death reached me? That was kind of crazy. Um, it feels like old launchers because I don't have the downside that was added to launchers with a Draconian. So I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, I never stopped liking launchers. I just didn't like what the devs did to launchers. But if I can ignore that penalty by playing Draconians with launchers, I might like add that to my repertoire. I definitely did feel for a while that I wanted to play a launcher's character, but every time that I tried to do so, it was pretty miserable, and I ended up not having a good time, so I didn't really do it. But now I know that if I want to play a launcher character, I should play a Draconian. Draconian with launcher, even though they have -1, it's still good enough. Mm. Yeah, for now we're gonna get 14 for min delay on this short bow of electrocution. It's gonna hold up for quite a while, not only because of the brand, but also because of the 9 slaying. Eventually, I think that it would be interesting to replace it with something else. Maybe not an Arbalest, because Arbalest is not that good to take advantage of the large amount of slaying that I have, and I do want to retain this slaying for as long as possible. Yeah, I have the Gauntlets of War. I think it's very difficult, almost impossible for me to take that one off, but I might want to take off the Ring of Slaying eventually. That is definitely a very real possibility. Mm. Man, everything is dying to this launcher. This is fantastic. Oh, I guess that I should keep in mind so that I do not roast tint. I do not look at this experience through rose tinted glasses. That's what I meant. That I have 9 slaying, so if I go launchers with another Draconian, it's not gonna be nearly as strong as this. Yeah, that's important to keep in mind. Mm. Okay, it feels nice to use a launcher versus thrashing horrors and in general monsters with body movement, since you don't have to run behind them to try to hit them. You can just press tab and the monsters will be attacked, and it's great. Yeah, about to level up to level 15. Let's do D13. All right, and then we can go do Orc. My lure was really easy. Um, this character feels crazy strong, so it is not surprising dexterity because we are apparently a launcher's character somehow. We're gonna get a ton of dodging too. We're gonna get like 15 dodging. Yeah, I think that I might want to get fighting first. I already have a good amount of evasion anyway. Okay, I got a ring of protection. I think that for now, the slaying that I have is more powerful than just having 4 armor class. But later on, it might be an interesting option to consider. All right. That looks like a death trap. I feel like I'm walking into a death trap. I should get out of here, exclude this, and come back later or never. That is also an option. You know what? I'm strong, but I don't think that I'm strong enough to beat a Centaur warrior in a battle of marksmanship without it being a dangerous thing for me. Yeah, because I bet that I can beat it. I bet that I can actually win. But the thing is that it could retaliate pretty harshly before it dies. And that is definitely a no-no. Yeah, would put me at a lot of risk if, for example, these melee happen to run into me right after that. Okay, you know what? I think that it's actually okay to fight here because I have the corridor. Skeletal warrior, I might be able to beat it. I killed it with a launcher. Man, okay. I guess that the key to make launchers good is to have 9 slaying. Who would have guessed? Yeah, that's the main reason why I want us to go launchers. You're seeing it right now. Launchers happen to be really good when you have 9 slaying. Well, the launcher being electrocution is also really helpful. Okay, this guy has a +2 Dart Flail of protection. I think that I might be interested. Yeah, I don't think that flaming does that much. Protection probably does a bit more for me than flaming. And it is also slightly more enchanted, so that's nice. 35. 35 versus 34 with Brand. That was an unseen horror, but we have nothing to be afraid of. And we just found Damnation. Okay, we're getting rewarded for choosing to go for launchers. Getting heavily rewarded. How expensive is it to train for this? Base attack delay 1.9, so I need 18. I'm at 14. It's still a really, really strong thing to have. I'm gonna drop my Arbalest, and I guess that I'm just gonna use Damnation when the time comes. This is fantastic. Okay, let's go to work. This character has so much going for it. I can still die. There's definitely always the possibility of dying. But I'm gonna try my best to not die, yeah. What do you mean I can't go up here? Where's the exit? Did I hit a teleport trap immediately upon entering the level? I did, okay. Pretty nasty. Let's not get paralyzed by this guy with 45% chance to do so. Okay, it didn't happen. Things are nice. I'm just gonna wait for the teleport now. Okay. Man, that almost was pretty scary, but if we go at it from a position of fighting monsters one by one, we're perfectly okay. Oh, this is so much fun. Man, this is kind of busted. Like, All Damnation was better, but this is still kind of busted. Yeah, the Damnation is gonna take over the game. When it comes to the slaying thing that I was thinking about earlier, like it's not that much of an issue that I'm shooting with a very slow weapon because it's Damnation. Like the damage output of Damnation is kind of bonkers. Okay, Erolcha might kill me. I don't have a potion of flight. That's kind of an issue. It's not really that much of an issue because I still have file, so I can use file of lots on Erolcha. Don't do that. You're still, yeah, I didn't walk in your range because I thought that Erolcha was gonna walk towards me. Silence Erolcha so I don't get banished. Getting banished would be the worst way to finish this character. Um, oh, you know what? That I should probably just stick to using Damnation. I'm gonna still carry the short bow of electrocution in case that I find a bunch of monsters that for some reason Damnation wouldn't be good against. Mm, but Damnation is pretty good, like even in situations where there's a ton of monsters from afar, since it does an explosion, that's a good way to deal with a lot of monsters. I might also be biased because Orc has a bunch of really low HP monsters, so they die to Damnation explosions. No matter how low the damage roll is, it's gonna be much more evident later on in the game. For example, in bolts, if Damnation is good enough to just like use versus large hordes of monsters, or if I should switch to a different weapon in such a situation. Now, dodging is what I want us to get, and after that I think we get Damnation to min delay, but I do want a little bit of dodging. I have no dodging, but I still have a ton of evasion for who knows what reason. I have five evasion from a ring, but that's it. So yeah, my evasion is really high for some reason. Wow, I have subdued magic too. I bought a book, didn't I? I think that I bought a book for swiftness. Wonder if it's even worth it to get now. Okay, this fungi are really annoying. Yeah, come on. Oh, it doesn't hit you anymore. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't hit you anymore, the Damnation Explosion. That was a really recent change. The Glaive of Prune, once again we find the Glaive of Prune, and once again we are not a character that can use the Glaive of Prune. One of these days I'm gonna find it and I'm actually gonna be able to use it. I don't really go pole arms very frequently nowadays, so I think that it is unlikely for such a thing to happen, but it might happen in um, one of these days. Yeah. Wow, I just completely beat those guys. That was crazy. Multiple of those guys had launchers, and I still beat them super hard. Um, I'm glad that I decided to go for launchers. Otherwise, I would have found Damnation. I would have just left it on the floor. Probably made a comment about how disappointing the launcher rework is, and I still do not like it. Let's be perfectly clear here. I never stopped liking launchers. I just don't like that launchers now make me shoot really slowly if I want to have some semblance of armor class. That is, in my opinion, pretty lame. Um, but Draconian at least doesn't have that issue, so might as well take advantage of it. Okay, I already did the entirety of this place, and I didn't really find a single item that I wanted to buy from any of these shops. That's kind of disappointing, not gonna lie. Let's go back to the dungeon. I'll do that bolt that is obviously a death trap later. Oh no, I already did it. That's how I got Damnation. I should remove the exclusion then. Scrolls of blinking, pretty nice. Damnation is not making as much noise as I thought it made. I guess that in at some point it must have gotten buffed by reducing the amount of noise that it made, because it used to be much louder than this. It also used to always hit the tile that you targeted. If you made it, like if you targeted and pressed dot, it always would explode on the tile that you targeted. It was like Fireball in that regard. It was so strong. That was removed, and eventually, like in time, that was removed for obvious reasons. Cannot really, complain about that removal. Like that just makes sense for quality of life reasons. Optimal gameplay must be fun gameplay. That's like one of the most important dogmas of crawl development, and I don't think that all damnation embodied that. So it was perfectly reasonable for it to be removed, or for it to get reworked into what it is now, where it can miss. And if it doesn't hit a monster, the explosion doesn't happen. That's pretty much what it is. It's not that it couldn't miss before, it's just that you could target a tile, and then if the tile didn't have any monster, it still exploded. That was good, yeah. Another scroll of acquirement. Let's see what we get. A buckler that's not terrible, a ring that's terrible, a staff of cold, and money. So I guess we get the money, because the buckler is not terrible, but we cannot really use it because we have damnation, and we're not gonna sacrifice damnation for a mediocre buckler. It may not be terrible, but it's also not great, so it is very much mediocre. What branches did we get? Shoals and Spider. I think that it makes sense to go to Shoals and Bribe. I think that bribing Shoals, especially Shoals 4, may not be a terrible decision. Bribing is not something that personally I do a lot of before SOT, but it might be the correct thing to do here. Okay, fortunately that Skeletal Warrior had a polearm, the one that I was meleeing. It was very clear that things were not going in my favor, so I wanted to disengage. It's the first time that I have had this happen in a while. If it didn't have a polearm, it would have been difficult for me to disengage, but fortunately it did have a polearm. Okay, can I actually hit the guy? Come on, 4 times in a row it has a 79% chance to hit. I don't think that you should miss something with 79% chance to hit 4 times in a row, but that's just me. Crawl depths do not agree with that vision. At least disengaging from that and killing the one guy that did come upstairs with me was very easy. Things are going very well for this character. Oh, I found a hand crossbow. It's a heavy hand crossbow, unfortunately. Current attack delay 1.8. This is with... it's not maxed. Definitely not maxed. Wait a second. Base damage 16? Base attack delay 1.9? That doesn't seem right. What? It's literally an arbalest. Why is it literally an arbalest but more accurate and one-handed? Is it because it's crazy rare? That's weird. Cool, it does hit very hard, but I'm gonna leave it in the floor. I'm confused about the existence of such a thing. Why is it literally the same as an arbalest, but more accurate and one-handed? Why is it just a straight-up superior? Careful, these guys can banish me, and I do not have... Oh, that's okay, we don't mind. We wish that we hadn't gotten that. I don't want to get banished. Getting banished here would be really bad. I want silence. Come on, no silence. Okay. I didn't want to use File of Lots because there were 2 wizards. So I figured that I was just gonna File of Lots the first one, and the second one was gonna banish me while I was fighting the first one. The second one skedaddled away for some reason. Does Portal Projectile work with Damnation? I'm pretty sure it does. Do I have Portal Projectile? I do. Let's learn it. Let's cast it. I'm gonna... Oh, you cannot banish yourself anymore with a miscast. It lasts for like no time because I have no training on it. Oh wow, that's a lot of loot. Man. I mean, I guess you do have to fight for leeches and a ghost for the loot, but 3 Randarts. In fact, 3 relevant Randarts. The boots are probably better than what I have. The Great Mace is probably better than my Direflail. And the Amulet is probably not better than Regen Amulet, but it might still be better. There's a non-zero chance of it being better, so I definitely am interested in checking. On the other hand, I still do not have Scrolls of Silence. If this is a Scroll of Silence, I'll do it. It's not, I'll wait for the Scroll of Silence. We don't have to rush it. Yeah, Holy Word does not exist anymore. It would be cool with Holy Word. I would just read 3 of them and immediately delete the bolt. Probably get a full level out of it. But yeah. Okay, Shoals or Spider? I guess the answer is very obvious. We have to go to Shoals. We don't really do Spider. Considering how I am a launcher character somehow, I am definitely incentivized to go to shows without the need for flying. Yeah, because like I can fight things from afar, so I don't really have to rush through the water. And I don't fumble attacks in water, so I don't have to worry about being standing in shallow water. Um, Using a launcher is very beneficial here, and it is something that I will almost never have the chance to actually take advantage of because of the nature of launchers. Only with Draconians can I enjoy launchers. Okay, the Water Nymph is kind of scary. It's gonna Water Strike me super hard, so I gotta get away from here. Hmm. I think that reading teleport here makes sense. Okay. Things went okay. That's a Ghost Bolt. It definitely is kind of scary to be fighting that, or like in the vicinity of this Ghost Bolt, because the dangerous part of that Ghost Bolt is the fact that when you open it, the monsters are just gonna tap dance on top of those Sod traps and Blink traps, and bad things will happen. And all for a Randart hat that is probably not even that great. My current hat is also not that great. I could definitely get an upgrade. Do I have horns? I still have horns. Um, what do I have? -2 intelligence. I don't care about that. I guess that I already modified some. Haven't noticed any some effects in a while. Yeah, some is neutral towards you. That's nice. That means that I successfully survived being a Chaos Knight. And now if I die, it's because of one reason or another. But it's certainly not because I started as a Chaos Knight. And with the way that this is going, I think that we're probably not gonna die. I think that this is going well enough. Yeah. So, what things could this character look forward to getting? Well, number one in that list is actually Sniper. I have never used a Sniper, and I think that if I was to get Sniper, it would be pretty cool, since I've never used it. It's a pretty strong item. In case you don't know, it's a heavy triple crossbow that never misses, has 100% accuracy, and it is also crazy enchanted. Items, Sniper. Plus 27 heavy crossbow sniper. Very, very slow to shoot, of course. The weapon's minimum attack delay 1.6 is reached at skill level 28. You cannot decrease the attack delay of a sniper that much, unfortunately. On the other hand, it always hits, and when it hits really, really hard, so it's a pretty good item. And I say when it hits as if it didn't hit always. Yeah, that's what I hope that I get, because I am a launcher character. I am playing with launchers because I am a Draconian, and Draconians do not get armor, and by extension they do not lose anything by wanting to use launchers. So it is the perfect character for me to enjoy launchers. I said earlier that I don't like the launcher rework, but Draconians do not get penalized by the launcher rework in any way whatsoever, so it makes sense to play Draconian with launchers. I guess that you could also think about doing the same mm, with Gargoyle, maybe, since Gargoyle gets a ton of natural armor class. Do Draconians get +1 HP or do they get 0? HP. Oh no, they all get +1 HP. That's pretty convenient. Yeah, hello Inon. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you around. Um, Whenever I don't have a lot to stream, I always think about that thing that you told me once about you liking it when I stream games that are not always roguelikes. And I think about games that I could stream, that I maybe feel like people would enjoy, but I really haven't thought of anything. Um, but I keep thinking. Yeah, I keep that in mind. So one of these days I'm gonna come up with something and I'll stream it. I definitely want to go back to Infinity Wars one of these days. Haven't played it in a while, but I do really enjoy the gameplay loop of that game. Yeah, that game is pretty good. But I want a ranked mode. I cannot believe that the devs still don't have a ranked mode. Like it came back like a year ago, and there's still no ranked mode. Oh, Infinity Wars. It is a card game. Yeah, it is virtual online card game that was a thing like 10 years ago, and because of terrible mismanagement, it kind of stopped being a thing, and like support was dropped. But the developer never really gave up on the IP, and so it revived in a different monetization model where like the players have everything, so it is not pay to win. But the cards are not animated and they're in black and white. So if you want to have them, you have to grind for them or buy them, and that is okay because at least you're not limited by money or by grinding time when it comes to making the deck that you want to make, and that's really cool. Um, but I don't like how, at the same time, that model disincentivizes like community interaction and trading. Something that I have noticed is that if you buy packs with the currency that you can grind, you cannot trade the cards, or I guess the cosmetics for the cards that you get, and that is something that used to be possible in the old version of the game. That was one of the things that really got me hooked. You know, apart from the fact that the game is just overall excellent. So if you like card games, you could consider giving that one a try. The barrier for entry is really low, since you don't really have to make any investment whatsoever to try all that the game has to offer, which is really cool. Yeah. Something that is not easily said for any other card game. Mm. And yeah, the game is fantastic. It feels very fair. It feels like even if you don't draw well, you can still make a comeback because it has a system that makes you able to spend resources. It's like Magic, like it has kind of a mana bar, but it's not quite a mana bar. It's like in Hearthstone, where every turn you get a resource. Um, I think the game released before Hearthstone, so like Hearthstone didn't pioneer the concept. But yeah, every turn you get a resource, and you can use your resources by casting cards or by using the trading post. So you can draw extra cards, or you can mulligan away single cards beyond the first turn of the game. You can mulligan away certain cards by paying some resources. Um, so it is really nice. Like even if you draw some cards that are pretty bad for you, you can still get rid of them, so you can see them later on. It's really nice. You can also pay resources to increase your current resources. Oh, nice potion of experience, and I just leveled up, so let's drink it. Yeah, sure. Everything can go to ranged weapons. So this game we have found 1 potion of experience and 2 potions of, or 2 scrolls of acquirement. Pretty nice. Okay, that's where the rune is. So we're gonna read Immolation. We have it right here. And then we're gonna use Lightning Rod, because I happen to have Lightning Rod. Picked it up very recently. Very useful, very useful. Alright. And then we can finish off with Damnation. Yeah. I hope that this is the real rune and not a mimic, because I just made a ton of noise. Unfortunately, it was the real rune. Alrighty. Now I could theoretically just get out of here. I think it might be worth exploring a bit. I already killed the most dangerous vault, so I'm not gonna encounter the denizens of the most dangerous vault just wandering around in the open, where they would be significantly more difficult to kill. That ring of fire resistance is very good. Fire resistance, resistance to corrosion for dexterity and stealth. Still no scroll of silence, though. I'm really looking forward to finding a scroll of silence so I can kill those leeches. Oh, rather Darflail. That might be really good for me. I'm glad that I didn't just go away. Never. Well, it is worth carrying around, and here's why it is worth carrying around. It has resistance to electricity, and we're gonna need that for volts. And that's my only source of resistance to electricity. Normally, I would be very disappointed at such a source for resistance to electricity, but on the bright side, we have a good amount of Mace's training, so I can actually use it as a weapon, and it will not be terribly disappointing. It will be disappointing, but it will not be terribly disappointing. Yeah, I do not have resistance to electricity. My mid-game has been going well. Surprisingly, this time we didn't get to experience the crawl mid-game experience. Yeah, the infamous crawl mid-game experience. This time it didn't kill me. Yeah, I was in a portal bolt. I think I was in a gauntlet. Yeah, I was in the gauntlet when I realized that I didn't have the drawback that normally disincentivizes me from using launchers. So here we are. After I realized that, I started training for launchers, and then I got Damnation, and I was like, okay, I got rewarded for training for launchers. So yeah, it has been going very well since then. Also, I got shoals, and I realized as well that shoals was very easy for me to do, because the main downside of going to shoals is that you are gonna fumble attacks and stuff, and you're gonna get hit by stuff from afar, and everything is fast, and it's an awful place to be in. But then I was like, oh, wait a second, if I have a launcher, I don't have any of those issues, because I can actually retaliate from afar, and I don't fumble attacks when I'm standing on water with a launcher. Like it just lined up perfectly. Okay, we finally find a potion of Imbis. Oh, a Kraken. That's easy to kill. Yeah. Summon some tentacles, Mr. Kraken. There we go. It's a trap for the Kraken to summon tentacles versus anything that has any explosion-based attack, because of that kind of thing. So good launcher, always fun. The Damnation is pretty strong. Huge damage, explosions. Unfortunately, it is not as good as it used to be. Now it misses. But on the other hand, it not missing was very much against the crawl design philosophy that dictates that fun gameplay must be optimal. The way to make it so that damnation didn't miss was definitely not fun gameplay, and it was optimal gameplay. Okay, things are getting kind of sketchy. Unfortunately, the harpies just rushed for the entrance of the room. This was kind of a trapped room, um, in the sense that it didn't let me actually shoot at everything from afar. And then I chose to use the broad axe, which I haven't really trained other than cross training, and that didn't go well. That was a very grave mistake, so I'm gonna drop it. The ring is actually worth thinking about. I think that I can sacrifice one slaying for resistance to corrosion, right? Yeah, we can definitely afford to lose a slaying, point of slaying, especially since damnation is not that good at taking advantage of it. The reason why I originally thought about going for launchers in the first place is because I got the gauntlets of war and the ring of slaying, so I had 9 slaying. Um, but the damnation doesn't particularly care about that. Oh no, what have I done? I'm never gonna hit this. Oh no. It doesn't have any resistances, however, so I can just... Oh no. No, no, my clouds. Get back here. I'm never gonna hit it. Can it do anything to me though? It hits for 35 and it has blink. I guess it cannot do anything to me. It doesn't have cold resistance, right? Okay, I have Ice Blast, so it's death. Okay, we went very quickly from I'm never gonna kill it to it's death. Yeah, I'm never gonna hit it. 2% chance to hit. You hate to see it. But at least I have Ice Blast. I also have Lightning Rod, which might work better. There we go. Shouts to Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod also doesn't miss, in case you were wondering about that. But yeah, I should have checked the ghost before opening that vault. At least I had the tools to kill it. I want those charges. But are you another ghost with a million evasion? Okay, this one is a bit more threatening because it actually has really strong spells. But at least I can kill it. Yeah, I can actually kill it by just attacking. There we go. Yeah, good stuff. And so we acquire our reward. Then we get out of here. Can I hit the plant? I can hit the plant. Yeah, that was another way to deal with it. Just loot it towards a plant and then shoot damnation at a plant. I want that hat. But I don't want to open this. I feel like if I open this, I might die. No, I don't want Buln. I want Emo. We don't have Emo. The only Emo in the game I have already used. It's kind of a shame. Well, I have 2 actually. I re-identified 1 versus some wizards earlier because I was searching for silence. Have I found silence already? Because I may have. Unrecognized. No, I have not found silence. That's the only scroll that I have yet to find. This is a vault where you can trade a TP scroll in most cases. I agree. I think it is much safer to do if I read Immolation, however. Just like open the door and before anything has a chance to get out, just like make them all explode while they're rushing towards the door. That's what I want to do, but since I don't have Immolation, I'm gonna wait until I do. Just as I'm waiting for Silence to do that bolt in, or like I have another Ghost Bolt with 4 leeches in D15, and it has some pretty good stuff, but I need a Scroll of Silence to be able to do it. Once I do have a Scroll of Silence, it's gonna be very easy to kill it. Okay, I am carrying this just because of this monster. Fortunately, it is very easy for me to kill that monster using that Darflail. Um, but yeah, that's my only source of resistance to electricity for now. Yeah, things are going pretty okay, but do not let your guard down. You can still always get ruined by the crawl mid-game experience. It is definitely not uncommon for such a thing to happen. Um, wow, just one shot that Convoker. How much damage am I dealing with Damnation? 48. 48 plus the Damnation Explosion. It's actually pretty good damage. Definitely better damage than my Darflail of Protection. Um, okay. I was not sure that the Dar Elephant was gonna die before it reached me. But I'm glad to see that it did die before it reached me. Man, Damnation is so busted, isn't it? Well, I guess that it is. It seems busted now that we have gotten to the part of the game where the monsters have very little in the way of evasion. Because in Shoals it wasn't that incredible. Sometimes it missed. Um, and there was this one occasion where it missed 79% chance to hit 4 times in a row versus some skeletal warriors. That was pretty painful. At least they had pole arms, so I was able to run away from them. It's funny how I used to not like monsters having polearms, and now I love monsters having polearms because it means, yeah, just take one guaranteed damage and you're not gonna get hit by attacks of opportunity. As opposed to, okay, you can run away from it, but it has a chance to hit you once every 3 turns, and if it hits you enough, you're gonna die for obvious reasons. Um, Once again, I still do not have willpower. That's actually one of the greatest weaknesses of this character. Um, I have a ring of willpower on D15. I guess that it is time for me um, to lose poison resistance, resistance to negative, and 5 evasion. That seems like a plan, actually, to sacrifice those things for willpower, and I do want willpower. It's a very important thing. And a little bit of HP, but that will come back in a bit, a couple of fights. Also, I'm a Draconian, so I have +1 HP. Okay, Thunderhook hits me for 48. It caught me in a moment of absolute distraction, and now things are kinda complicated because of it. Okay, this is obviously one of those bolts that just have a million monsters in them, so... I have the breath weapon. I haven't used it in a while. For good reason, because it's not that great. It doesn't deal that much damage. I think that its best use is to push monsters away. Um, that went very well. I was kinda nervous when I got hit below 3 digits HP, but since I have 2 sources of regen, things are fine. I still do have 2 sources of regen, right? Yeah. Courtesy of all of these mutations. We don't really want to mess with them, even though I have minus scroll, because regen is very strong. It is a great mutation to have. Minus scroll also doesn't trigger that frequently nowadays. Level 1 of minus scroll is a much more manageable thing to have than alt minus scroll. Alt minus scroll was a death sentence. Now I don't think it is that much of a death sentence anymore. It can still kill you, but it just doesn't trigger every fight like it used to. It's so strange to actually be able to beat Yaktars in a battle of ranged combat. That doesn't happen very frequently. Like, unless you're a mage that happens to have a strong enough spell that doesn't miss, that doesn't happen very frequently. Oh no! Don't do that. I didn't realize that Donald for once had reflection. I feel like Donald only gets reflection when I don't need it. That was pretty scary because that would have hurt. It would have dealt a ton of damage if it had actually hit me. Um, I'm glad that it didn't. Very, very glad that it didn't. Yeah, and when I was stabbing Donald before it reflected, I had this feeling of being doing something that I shouldn't be doing. Um, but then Donald reflected, and then very bad things happened. Mm. I need to get rid of these trolls. They're so annoying, not letting me out to explore. That room must have some abyss monsters or simulacra. Or a shop. Okay. It is not a particularly good shop, but I guess we can pick this up. We can pick this up. And that's it? Yeah, I guess that's it. Hey, we found a scroll of silence. Let's go kill those leeches. Um, what bolt is it? Or where is it? I think it's on D15. 17 damage. So the ghost is no worry at all. Yeah, the ghost is really not gonna be difficult. The leeches are going to be, however. I think that it might be reasonable to haste, and I would if I had more than one haste. On the other hand, I also have Ghost Axe, so I can just drink a potion petition for haste, which we get immediately. Read silence. Yeah, yeah. Open the door. Shoot damnation at these guys. Shoot damnation at these guys. And they are all dead. So it was well worth it to wait for things to be safe before coming here. The boots are better than what I have. I don't value stealth nearly as highly as I value um, to dexterity. Man, this would be good if it didn't have the minus willpower. If it was plus willpower, it would be a slam dunk of an item. This similarly would be pretty great if it didn't have the weakness to cold. Yeah, 9 dexterity is kind of okay for the purposes of dodging. And heavy great mace is manageable. Not great, but manageable. Overall, I would say that Bolt was a slight disappointment, but it was a pretty good use for a Scroll of Silence, which I otherwise would wait until very late into the game to actually use. So I'm okay. Wislav? I should read a Scroll of Magic Mapping. I bet there's some Lua magic that one can do to make it to rename Scroll of Revelation Scroll of Magic Mapping. Yeah, but I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna have it as a Scroll of Revelation with an inscription that says Magic Mapping, so that I do not forget that Scroll of Revelation is a Scroll of Magic Mapping with a fancy one-turn see through walls effect that barely does anything. I don't have anything that I want to enchant. Yep, yep. I'm getting Randarts and the fully enchanted Cloak of Fire Resistance, which is pretty fantastic, and I love it. It has been such an important part of this character, that Cloak of Fire Resistance. It's given me fire resistance that I otherwise wouldn't really have. So yeah, pretty cool item. Let me pick this up. Have a good stack of potions of mutation for when I inevitably lose regen in Sot. Sun Guldrok Shrine. This is doable. This is not difficult at all. Um, I paused for a moment because the aesthetic was the aesthetic of an undeath Wislav, and Born's mausoleum is a really messed up one that you probably shouldn't do, but we didn't get it this time. Yeah, this one is so easy. I think this one might actually deserve a buff. Look at the quality of the undeath that the game is throwing at me. Vampires and troll zombies. I think that at this point in the game wouldn't be unreasonable to throw at the player a couple of vampire knights instead of those vampires that have been appearing. Like 3 vampire knights or so would be reasonable. Waiting for the door. The door is gonna spawn right in front of where I am right now. And we're gonna get one of the rarest messages in the entirety of Crawl. Oh no, it's gonna spawn over here, right? Because yeah, the door appeared in front of the dry fountains. We missed the message. The message says suddenly a door appears. Nothing too special, but it's a special message in the sense that you don't really get to see it very frequently. Yep, those vampires that I killed earlier definitely should have been vampire knights. Careful with the antique leech. I cannot step any closer to it because the antique leech will spawn. And it will be bad because I don't have silence. Will be scary. The antique lich comes into view. A lich who has grown expensive over countless years. Um, it's an ancient lich. 29% petrifying crystal spear makes this guy very scary. I have a phantom mirror. Maybe we can phantom mirror the antique lich. Please do not crystal spear me because I have only 22 evasion. Okay. Did my guy shoot a crystal spear at the antique lich at any point? I don't think that it did, but I'm hitting it with a heavy dart flail, which damage rating 55 versus the 37 that I have with my normal dart flail. Not bad at all. Sword of Sunguldrak, we can leave that right where it is. It's a guaranteed drop from this Wislav, but we don't really need it or want it. I don't think that I have ever had a character that has used that for an extended period of time. I think that it has always been a stepping stone for later weapons. It used to be a longsword, but now it is a double sword, so it's actually a pretty okay thing to have. I'm glad that the game has been cooperating today. Yeah, you know how it is with me and Kroll. Sometimes it just won't happen. And I'm going random character too, so yeah. Even with that, it still only took me 2 attempts to really get going. Frederick had a almost fully enchanted demon trident. Nothing that we really want, but pretty remarkable thing to have found. Well, this floor had 3 uniques: Shtawa, Frederick, and Aizul. And Jori. Okay, Jori is by far, out of all those 4, the most scary one. This one actually makes me want to teleport because of that. Yeah. If Jori wasn't already next to me, like Jori got kind of lucky with a blink. Not kind of lucky in the sense that it blinked next to me, but it got kind of lucky in the sense that of all the things that it could do, like walk forwards, it just decided to use blink close, and now it's next to me. And now I got crystal speared already once. Hopefully it won't happen again before I teleport. Okay, teleported. Time to go back to Jori, because I think we can beat Jori, but we just have to be careful with the crystal spears and with the melee, because Jori melee is actually really strong. it went very well. We didn't really have to worry about getting further crystal spears or melee um, inflicted upon us. Okay, 21 fighting. Time to get more dodging. And I think that after that we get more evocations. Um, I have a good amount of scrolls of enchant weapon, but I don't know what weapon I want to use. Like, well, obviously, damnation is one of those weapons, but I was also thinking of maybe enchanting a Darflail, like legit enchanting a Darflail, because it's faster than a Great Mace, and we have Slaying. On the other hand, we could also get a Great Mace, and the Great Mace just deals a lot more damage than the Darflail does. Um, that does require me to train maces to 20, and I don't know if I actually want to do that. Um, so yeah, not that I really need a weapon anyway. What do you do, Mr. Demonologist? It says 12% chance to banish me. It better not happen, or else. Not uncommon for a warden to just lock you in a fun room. That is something that happens very frequently in bolts, so you gotta be mindful of that kind of thing, and immediately teleport if things get kind of sketchy. Which they get, like if you're locked in a room with multiple monsters, including a warden, that's already a good enough reason to teleport on the vast majority of characters. This one included, of course. Some characters can just stab through that, no biggie, but it's just safe to disengage if you can, while things are still perfectly fine. Safer for sure than waiting for things to not be fine. Hey, look at that! 60. Oh, I'm getting destroyed because of Thunderhawk. Okay, my bad, my bad. I was like, why are these guys destroying me? They were not destroying me before. Do I Circ? Uh, I'll Circ. Okay, Circing was the correct move. Um, pesky Thunderhooks. Very scary, very dangerous, since I don't have the resistance. I think they're more scary than I think they're more scary than electric golems just because they are more plentiful than electric golems. Electric golems can kill you, but thunderhooks can kill you more, and they appear more frequently. Um, Also, electric golems really need to get to melee to kill you. Like for sure, it's very easy for them to get to melee, but still, since they need to get to melee, you can play around them. You can make it so that they cannot get to melee to you, or you can kill them before they get to melee. Yeah, like they're not nearly as bad as Thunderhooks, where they can destroy you from afar. So earlier on the stream, I was talking about how it is difficult for me to find motivation to work out while like only for the sake of working out. I know that there's like the reward of better health and a more attractive body shape and that kind of thing, like less fat, whatever. I'm not particularly struggling with that kind of thing. Like I'm not obese, um, but I am worried about the possibility of that being a thing later on in life. So that's why I got into jumping rope couple of months ago. I had to stop, however, because I don't know if it's the way that I was jumping rope or something, but like my knees were super swollen after um, after a jumping session. Like I noticed on a Saturday because I jumped on a Friday, and then on a Saturday I actually had a hard time traversing the public transportation of Mexico City, like climbing stairs and stuff like that. Like my knees hurt so bad. I was like, this is not normal. And I stopped jumping rope because of that kind of thing. Um, it was pretty bad because at first things were going well, but I think that because of the way that I jump, um, things were getting worse. Yeah. So anyway, I mentioned that because I am thinking about getting a job that doesn't entail me getting assaulted by anxiety while I'm talking to a person in English that is complaining about me because of something that I have no control over. Yeah, I don't want to experience that kind of thing in my life again. Um, it's I've already done it enough. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And the job that I'm looking forward to is something that lets me exercise. So it might seem silly, and it might seem like a waste to some of you, but like I'm looking for something that's like very simple, like just carrying stuff. I feel like that will make me exercise, and it will give me money, and it will be a good expenditure of time. Um, so like there's a lot of upsides to getting a job like that, and there's like zero of the downsides of the jobs that made me not want to work anymore. So I'm gonna try to search for something like that that pays reasonably well. um, if I get something along the lines of $400 a month, doing that kind of job, which is a bit above um, what I suspect I'm gonna get offered, I would be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to search for a job like that because that sounds like something that I could do, and I am very mindful of the effects of physical exhaustion on your mind, but I don't think it will be that much of an issue for me because precisely because I am aware of those effects. So if I see that I'm like losing interest in everything because I am too exhausted to do anything at the end of my job. Well, like there's some things that are a bit more important in life than just having a job. I value knowledge and learning a bit more than that. Um, so I would probably stop. But I would also not immediately stop. I would just keep it in mind and like notice or try to notice if it's like a pattern that I am feeling like I don't want to do anything after working because of um, that expenditure of energy. Um, yeah, let's see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. I'm gonna start asking around. In the event that I would get a job like that, I would still try to stream. Probably I would stream roughly the same amount of time that I have been streaming nowadays. Um, Probably with a bit more motivation, since, after a long day outside, away from my computer, I would definitely be looking forward to getting to my computer. Um, and by not streaming on a daily basis, I get time to do other things that are not really suitable for streaming, like playing Age of Empires, for example, which is something that I like, but I don't think that I would be able to enjoy if I was streaming. Like, Age of Empires is a game that is very difficult. You have to concentrate a lot. And I also don't really play that well. I am stuck at I oscillate between 800 and 1000 elo in Age of Empires 2. 1000 elo is pretty competitive, which is pretty crazy to think about because 1000 elo is the base elo that everyone starts with. But a lot of people go straight down. As for myself, I didn't go down that badly. By the way, I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, I don't have immolation, so let's not do that. I'm probably never doing it anyway because I'm doing something that's extremely loud. Mm, Yeah. At the end of the day, working like that, like carrying stuff, is kind of alienated work, which is something that I am not particularly happy to submit myself to. But on the other hand, it is not quite that because it's giving me a tangible benefit to myself apart from the money, which is, healthier, um, a healthier body, I guess you could put it like that, which I am interested in. So that's like my plus, the extra that I am interested in. In fact, I do have to say that going to work and going back to work is usually dreadful. Like I know a lot of people, or I've heard of a lot of people that really hate commuting. Um, for me, it was not that bad. That was actually the cool part of the day. The lame part of the day when I used to work at the call centers was the 8 hours between me leaving my between me getting there and me getting out of there. Like that felt like a waste of time at best, and anxiety inducing nightmare at worst. I guess I did get some stuff from there. Like I learned some things about computers that I didn't know and that I have used in my own like home network and my own computers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Um, but the downsides were just too much. The upsides were not enough to make up for it. So I don't want to do something like that ever again. Anyway, we are done with bolts 1 through 4. I don't want to do spider. I think that I'm gonna do depths. Maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna do depths. Try to search for resistance to electricity. If I find it, I'll do elf. I also want to do slime, and I think that we might want to put this back on. We don't get to keep the slaying. I think like we held on to the slaying for a good amount of time, but we cannot have it anymore. We need to sacrifice it. Back to depths. Yeah, to depths we go. Not back to. Yeah, first time we enter depths. I should rebrand and no, maybe not rebrand, but I should think about enchanting the Darflail or any Darflail. Or as I already said, a Great Maze. That is also a possibility. Uh, I think that I can also get away with not doing such a thing and just get carried by the launcher. And if things are getting too heated, like if monsters are getting too close, they're probably seriously hurt. So I can probably kill them with the Darflail without it being like the most optimal Darflail for damage output. On the other hand, I am also afraid of just wasting a limited resource while I wait for something that would make me want to spend that limited resource but better. Um, like a Demon Whip, for example. It is a one-hander, but it is a very fast one-hander that I mentioned earlier that does take advantage very well from, or like it does take advantage very well of the slaying that I have. Um, I have Gauntlets of War, in case you are not aware. You know what? I should probably not fight a Hellion in a Battle of Damnation. I'm probably not gonna win, especially if the Hellion has support and I don't. The Hellion is also immune to Damnation, so I wonder if I can kill it with. Yeah, okay, I can kill it with just like physical damage from the Damnation bolts. Took me a while to think of something that I could do, but I'm glad that I finally thought of something that I could do to, get some savings and contribute to the house and be able to indulge into some luxuries like eating whatever I want to eat every now and then. Yeah, the house thing is a big thing for me. Like, I really want to not remodel the house, but like um, do some basic maintenance to it. Like at the end of the day, that's really all I have. And like earlier in life, I was not so aware of it. Like I was not so conscious, but now I know that it's all that I really have. And if I lose it or if I let it decay, like it's gonna be very difficult to get it back. So I better take care of it because taking care of it is much cheaper and easier than getting another house from scratch. Um, So yeah, that's part of the reason why I want to do it. Mm. Okay, I should be able to beat Saint Roca just by pressing Tab. No need to get too fancy. I could have used Curare if I really felt like Saint Roca was threatening, but as you can see, I didn't feel like that. Mm, you could call it responsible, but I think it's more like not being short-sighted. Um, I know that my family has my back and everything, but in case I was to lose my house to my own lack of action, my own inaction, it would be a burden upon them that I do not wish to inflict upon them to like house me and stuff. Um, yeah. Also, I like the privacy of having your own house. I share it with my mom since, after all, my mom is the one who got it built and stuff. But it's okay. Yeah. Definitely better than not having a house and paying rent like crazy. Um, yeah. I'm going to use ice. No, not ice blast. I'm gonna use lightning rod on this guy because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to kill it. By the way, Spriggan animation still significantly less damaging than the Thunderhook from bolts. Man, I hate Thunderhooks. They're some of my least favorite enemies. I cannot believe that they hit that hard. 3 dice of 26. It's kind of unbelievable for me that they hit that hard. BB. Okay, so how are we going to deal with BB? I think that if I haste, I might be able to kill her. Man, all three options have Cirque. Do you guys think that I beat BB if I Cirque? Like, obviously not wielding Damnation, like with another weapon. I'm not sure that you can shoot a weapon while you're Berserk. And even if you can, I am sure that the damage upgrade from Berserk does not apply. Um, Pretty lame. I guess that we are going to go for the 420 option because the 420 option doesn't. The 420 option will make me not be slow after Berserk. Okay, things are going fine somehow. Well, they were going fine while I was Berserk. I feel like if I had been Berserk with BB next to me, I would have won. But now I feel like I'm gonna lose, so I'm gonna re-teleport. BB is gonna get attacks of opportunity on me, right? Because she's not slow. Hopefully she doesn't get a lot. Okay, she got 0. Very lucky. Going for the haste was the correct choice. I don't think that I would have lived if I hadn't been hasted there. Okay, round 2. Unfortunately, BB managed to get back to full HP. Let's try to get haste again. Okay, the only haste option is 800. I'll do it because I have 14,000, so whatever. Alright, that went very well. Not a lot of characters. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. I will carry that. I should get rid of the short bow. Like there was a world where we may use that, but like that world is it's not here anymore. We're gonna use anything. We're gonna use this penetration arbalest or damnation. Um, I can imagine the following situation in SOT. I'm in a corridor that I made myself with a wand of digging, and there's 17 orbs of fire coming for me. In such a situation, the penetration arbalest is way better than damnation. So yeah, pretty good find. In general, penetration is such a strong brand. There is a reason why you cannot get it from. Wait, you have an amulet of reflection? That's crazy. Hey, okay, I just noticed something funny. The bolts are not hurting me. Someone should tell a dev for the integrity of the game, but in reality that's pretty funny, so I'm not gonna tell them. I bet that what happened is that when the devs made the change so that damnation couldn't hurt you with the explosion, they also made it so that it couldn't hurt you with reflection. It's a good thing to know. I have a port, so I'm just gonna memorize a port. I'm gonna apport all of that. Well, I say all of that, but I mean like 2 items. Alrighty, let's go deeper into the depths. Still on the search for more for resistance to electricity. Actually, yeah, that's what I really need. Resistance to electricity. Oh, Demon Whip of Venom. So I can fully enchant that and rebrand it once. We have, oh no, we have 2 brand weapons. I suspect that it is not a terrible idea to do this. Sure. Okay, fully enchant the Demon Whip. You may be thinking that I'm crazy because it's a one-hander. I'm not using a shield anyway. But I would like to use a Demon Whip because I have 5 slaying. And it used to be more than 5 slaying, but right now I only have the opportunity to use 5 slaying. The loot that I found does not suit itself for more than that. I think I have a random hat in a bolt. It might be interesting to equip it. Oh. Okay, the Demon Whip is doing what the Demon Whip is meant to do, aka deal a lot of damage to a lot of monsters, which is pretty nice. I do, however, miss the protection brand that I had in my Darflail because I knew that I was gonna be pretty tanky thanks to the protection brand. Wow, I actually hit the Spriggan Air Mage with a bolt. Really crazy. I find it remarkable because not only do they have crazy evasion, but they also have repel missiles. So that makes them almost impossible to hit with a launcher or with iron shot and stuff like that. Yeah, this character feels strong enough to win the game. If I could, if I could just skip the 3 runes requirement, I would just go into Sot already. And then promptly get killed by something in there, I'm pretty sure. But I would still do it. Removing the Sot rune lock would be a pretty nice change. Yeah, 14% chance to hit, so that time that I hit the Spriggan Air Mage in the first attack, no less, was truly remarkable, and I don't think that I'm ever gonna hit another Spriggan Air Mage with Damnation again. But it's fine, because I don't really need to do that in order to kill them. Okay, really expensive gear. Hmm. I could ask for some shops, now that I think about it. I could also just go through the entirety of SOT by just bribing everyone. That is also a possibility. Important to keep in mind that I have access to that option since I have so much money. Oh, I thought that there was gonna be like a bazaar or something in there. Sometimes there are things like that. Anyway, depths 4. Depths 4 with only one rune. Draconians. Careful with the purple Draconians because their dispelling ability always hits for some reason. It checks evasion, but it really feels like it doesn't check evasion because you can have 30 or 40 evasion, it still hits you. Oh, I overtrained the vocations. I have 20 now. What about dodging? Because I feel like I could really use a good amount of dodging. Yeah, all of that experience could have been put towards, I don't know, a great maze. But is a great maze gonna be that worth it? I am leaning towards no. And it's not like evocation's skill goes to waste, especially now that evocables require you to have more evocations. By the way, I haven't commented on it, but these couple of occasions where I've used Condenser Vein, I found it not insultingly bad, which is pretty good. I also have noticed that you don't get the same kind of cloud every tile. Like it's a bunch of different clouds in a bunch of different tiles, but it has at least not failed to place clouds on the monster that I've used it against, which is the main issue that I had with the item after its nerf and before its current instance. That you could use it with a bunch of monsters on the screen with like 10 evocations or so, and it would not be good. Now it is good with at least I have used it with 12 evocations and I found it respectable enough. This is most likely gonna go to YouTube, so do let me know if you get to this point in the video. What's your opinion about the current condenser vein? Because when it got changed, it got nerfed so badly that I was like, just remove it. But now it seems okay. It's not as strong as it used to be with no guaranteed clouds, but it is also not worthless as it was in the right after the nerf. It was a good thing that I took a break from Crawl for a bit to let those kinds of changes happen. Okay, we still only have one rune, unfortunately. We still need to get two more from somewhere. And we went to depths and we didn't find any shops. Let's go to the one. I suspect that the shop prices are scaled with dungeon depths, so I'm gonna experiment making shops here. I highly doubt that it's actually the case and that it's gonna make any difference, but might as well. What do we get here? Jewelry or armor? I'm gonna get jewelry. Um, Disappointing. Yeah, those had a chance to be okay, but they definitely weren't. I'm gonna get armor. Wow, really disappointing. There's Randart gold scales, but I am almost sure that they're not gonna be good enough, so we're not gonna buy them. Not that we could use them anyway. Um, Antique armor. Okay, antique armor. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. We're gonna buy these. I'm not gonna buy the gloves because they're not gonna be better than the um, gloves that I currently have. Wow, taking off 2 dexterity gives me -2 evasion. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, these gloves are not gonna be better than the Gauntlets of War, but let's buy them anyway. Yeah, they're not better. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Weapon shop pass, sorted antiques. I'll get a sorted antiques. We get nothing. Well, we get immolation. That's actually not nothing. And a really overpriced potion of haste that I can afford because Gosak. But that's it. I'm not gonna get any more shops. Um, there's another Ghost Bolt with a Randart helmet that I have not done, or a hat or something like that. Um, it's on it's an Orc one. D5 has Duvesa. I didn't complete this level because of Duvesa. I guess I can afford to do that now. Hello, Duvesa. Goodbye, Duvesa. Took me a bit to kill Duvesa after killing the one. In fact, when Duvesa berserked, I would have died if I hadn't immediately found teleport. That was extremely lucky. Biel Luis, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy Crawl and Rift Wizard because that's pretty much all I play. Crawl and Rift Wizard. Those are pretty good games. Okay, my only concern here was the Ghost Moth berserking the Yetin, and fortunately it didn't happen. Force laying resistance to corrosion. I guess it's okay. It's better than the 3 slaying resistance to corrosion ring that I have for sure. Street Fighter 6 and Age of Empires 2. I don't think that I'm gonna stream Street Fighter 6 for a couple of reasons. First reason is that it might be taxing enough on my setup that I won't be able to stream properly. And second of all, I don't think that streaming fighting games makes sense. Also, I don't want to stream AoE 2. Yeah, like those things are not gonna happen. You haven't touched Rift Wizard? You like watching my videos though? Thank you for the support on YouTube. I appreciate it. I might switch to Kick actually. I haven't made an account there, but I feel like I noticed that after like I took a break for going to Guadalajara and for seeing my cousin, like my viewership went down like crazy. I also haven't been streaming as much, so it might be the perfect opportunity to just move to Kick. Because I also don't like the things that Twitch has been doing. Like it's actually kind of vile what they have been doing. So it might be the opportunity to get out of here. I'm thinking about doing that. I might set it up for like next week or so. Still haven't really decided, but I guess if you really are interested in following the stream, I'll let you know in my Discord or in YouTube as well. Yeah, I'll also make a video for YouTube. Um, Talking about videos for YouTube, I gonna get back on the God Overview series. Haven't really recorded anything. It might not be this week, but I'll try my best so that next week I have a couple of God Overviews on YouTube. Um, yeah. At the very least, there's another Rift Wizard video that I'll be putting on YouTube over the weekend. And maybe this character too, but maybe I'll save this character for next week. Anyway, let's see. Ghost Bolt. There's another Ghost Bolt, I'm pretty sure. It shows one. I wanted a scroll of immolation for doing this bolt, and now I have it. So, oh, there's oh, it's a Sky Shark and a Rhyme Drake. The Wind Drake. The Wind Drake can push me into the traps, and that would be pretty bad. So let's hope it doesn't happen. Oh yeah, these guys are just gonna trap. Okay, we got a tentacled monstrosity. No, not a tentacled monstrosity, an enriched tentacle. Pretty funny. The tentacle went in the opposite direction, so that's not terrible. Yeah, it didn't really come after me. Nothing to really worry about. Wow, the game has not stopped giving me really disappointing randarts today. I guess it's okay because we did get some really busted stuff. Okay, yeah. It is done. I have to get 2 runes now, and I guess that my only options are slime. Um, what did the hat have? Fire resistance. Oh no, weakness to fire. That's the reason why it was disappointing. Resistance to corrosion once again, and slaying once again. And slaying is not something that you can have enough of. I would have definitely loved to stack more, but I, at the same time, I'm not willing um, to sacrifice my fire resistance for slaying. I only have one source of it. I need more fire resistance for SOT. Okay, we take a little bit of drain. It's fine, manageable. We are going to do slime now. Does anyone know if the variant slime endings have already been merged into the game? Hmm. Because if so, we might be seeing a new one today. What should I get for my 3rd rune? I don't want to get Spider. I think that Spider might legit kill me. Yeah, in fact, if I had gone to Spider instead of going to the places where I went, I might have had a crawl mid-game experience. So I don't really want to go Spider at all. Wow, okay, they spawn in bands here? I wonder if the Royal Jelly spawns them. Pan trying to find that shot ball where they sell the demonic room for a true Kozak run. Sounds too dangerous. With these resistances, I don't think that I would be able to do it. Where's the downstairs? Man, if I didn't know this is a normal level, I would suspect this is the slime ending. Yeah, because look at how much of the level I saw before finding one of 3 downstairs. Or is it that there's only one set of downstairs now in the slime? Into slime 5? I doubt so. Anyway, so far it seems very much normal. If I see the royal jelly, I always have haste from Gosag or a potion. This game hasn't really been generous when it comes to potions of haste, but I have Gosag, so it's not really an issue. Um, on the other hand, the game has been rather generous with blinking. I have 4. Um, and the character has also been strong enough that I haven't really needed to use blinking. So, yeah, in the entirety of the game, we have seen 4 blinkings. Time to haste. Resistance might. Oh, come on, they always have Circ. I'm just gonna normal haste. Yeah, I don't really have the time to try to haste myself. Um, Having blink would be pretty useful. Things are getting pretty scary. Yeah, we got Damnation, so I've been using Damnation to Damnation. Do I have Blink? Man, I don't even have Blink the spell. That's pretty lame. I wish I had Blink the spell. Getting pretty nervous about this. I'm gonna re-teleport. You know what? I have a second Arbalest for situations like this. One that has penetration. We're about to kill the Royal Jelly. Maybe we kill the Royal Jelly before teleport. There we go. Beautiful. Very, very useful. Okay, now the remainder of the Royal Jelly should be easy to kill. Yeah, just by shooting the Arbalest. Monsters at this point in the game have like no evasion, apart from very specific exceptions like Spriggans. Yeah, we don't care about that. We do care about weakness to fire. That's bad enough that I have to remove it. So goodbye Regen. We enjoyed Regen for a good chunk of the game because some gave it to me almost immediately at the start. But we cannot have weakness to fire going into SOT. Like that's a dead sentence. Did you notice that I had minus a scroll for a good chunk of the game and it didn't really come up? Like it was not terrible for me to have that. Ring of Willpower with 4 intelligence. I guess it's better than the Ring of Willpower that I have right now. Condemnation. We don't need that. Cool item, but we don't need it. One of these days I'm gonna be able to use Condemnation. It's gonna be cool. We have Scarf of Resistance, and I do only have 1 pip of cold resistance. I could use that on a Ring of Fire, which we just found one, in order to get 2 pips of fire resistance after having removed the minus fire resistance mutation. Okay, why am I missing this guy? 73% chance to hit, unlikely to miss so often, but it did happen a lot. What type of weapon is a Trishula? It is slightly better Demon Trident. It's this one, right? Right here. Yeah, base damage 13, base attack delay 1.3. It has more base damage, 1 more base damage than a Demon Trident. Same attack delay. Yeah, the Trishula is it only generates as this. Like you cannot find a base Trishula, just like you cannot find a Flamberge. In case you are unaware, Cerebob's weapon is a Flamberge. Has a bit more base damage than a greatsword. Mm. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty okay weapon. Also Anguish, it makes its victims' attacks reflect back on them. Mm. Not terrible, not terrible. I think the Consecrated Labris is a much more exciting weapon to use in a general playthrough. I don't really value Anguish that highly. In case it wasn't obvious enough by the fact that I very rarely, if ever, cast the spell. It's a spell that goes well with summons and stuff, and I don't really do summons and stuff in Crawl. Let me grab my money because we cannot just leave money behind. Okay, so we have 2 runes, right? Yeah, okay, we need a 3rd one. My options are bolts 5, and I should drink potions of meat. I can probably wait a bit, right? No, I'm gonna get killed to thinking that I have fire resistance and then not having it. Okay, I got robustness. That almost compensates for having not a lot of fire resistance. And then I lost robustness. And then I lost regen and I got frail. And then I lost everything except for antennae. I need you to show me useless and duplicates. It's with this button, right? Yeah, I see some shiny helmet. I am mildly interested. My current hat is pretty okay though. The 5 dexterity is actually being pretty helpful for giving me a good amount of evasion. So yeah, I would like to retain it. I don't want to do spider, and I don't want to do bolts, and I don't want to do the abyss. But I think between those three, the abyss is the least awful one, right? Bolts 5 is very, very painful, and I did just lose my second source of regen. Um, Telling Gozak if you left that gold. Yeah, Gozak wouldn't be happy if I left that gold behind. I could go to Elf. That is an option. The thing about Elf is that I don't have resistance to electricity. Okay, we find Jorgrun, and Jorgrun dies to damnation. What? Okay, let me pick that up. Yeah, give me a second. I am going to drink them as soon as I level up. I'm about to level up. We got 2 potions of experience from Jorgrun for no good reason. And I have a rendered weapon with resistance to electricity, but it's an arbalest. I got a resistance to electricity arbalest. I do. Yeah. I was carrying the Darflail. It's a Darflail. I have maces, so I can actually kill things with resistance to electricity. I guess that it doesn't make it makes sense to wield this for the entirety of Elf. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Maybe we can drop the Darflail now. I'll carry these potions of experience. Waiting for my next level up to drink them. At this point in the game, however, it might make sense to wait as long as possible to drink them, because I do get HP, to be completely fair. But leveling up from 23 to 25 to 24 is not as costly as leveling up from like 25 to 26. So I might want to get like as much experience as possible from the game before going into SOT, and then when I'm about to go into SOT, I just drink them both. Or like the moment that I hit level 25, that is an option to consider. Do I need the increased HP immediately? I'm personally leaning towards no, because my character is really strong and I don't really need that. So yeah, it feels nice to have 9 slaying. Right now I have 9 slaying and 24 dexterity. That is contributing a good amount to the damage output of my arbalest. In fact, the damage rating is 54. Oh, you know what would be great? If I found Sniper. I really want Sniper. I have never used it, and I think that it would be the crowning jewel for a run like this. Do I have potions of flight? I do have 8 of them. It's okay to use 1 to fly. I am more interested in using them for willpower in SOT versus certain monsters. But it's okay. Okay, hopefully I won't get shafted into the Hollow Blades. Okay, it did happen, so let's just re-teleport. And again, unfortunately getting out of here with teleport is very difficult because it's such a large place. Gonna tax me a good amount in the teleport department. Yeah, it took 3 teleports to get out of here, but I was able to do so at least. Repel missiles might have gotten nerfed. I remember that it used to be pretty awful to try to kill monsters with repel missiles if you're using a launcher, but this time it hasn't been that bad. Okay, we buy the useful stuff. I could also buy Charming, because I have a good amount of evocations. I have 20, but I don't think I care too much. Yeah, I accidentally overtrained evocations a bit, but it's perfectly fine. Short bow of anti-magic. Um, Probably not impactful enough for me to want to buy it. I was thinking about buying it for Orbs of Fire, but it doesn't really sound like such a great idea. I don't want to hit Orbs of Fire with such a weak weapon after all. Triple Sword of Flaming. If I had thought about the launcher thing earlier, I would have gone for swords with this character for obvious reasons. But I only realized it a little bit too late, so no launchers for me. Haste, heal wounds, and Circ. Why do every effect that has haste always has Circ as well, or is super expensive? That has happened a bit too much already. Um, yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's a lot of annihilators. Hopefully I won't get annihilated. Saving the experience potions for something, might need them later after all. Yeah, I might need them for outside of the dungeon, right? I might want to get to experience level 28 and stuff. Or a trove somehow will randomly appear that wants two of them. We have already seen all the parts of the game that could place a trove, unfortunately. But that's another uh, potential use case for potions of experience. Yeah, I'm holding on to them so that I can like maybe I get more experience later on. It sounds greedy, but like drinking them right now gets me what 20 HP at most. Is that really something that impactful or like game changing? Mm, No, but on the other hand, I almost never get to experience level 27, right? So drinking them when I'm experience level 24 or 25 makes a lot more sense than drinking them now. I'm really close to level 24 at least. Okay, that went very well for Battle of Marksmanship versus two Master Archers. To think that the character was unnerved by shooting at Centaur Warriors earlier on. How has it grown? Mm. And my fingernails are so long that I'm pressing tab and I accidentally hit the key that's above tab as well, which is a key that uses my quiver. That's like I have it macroed like that. It is actually very convenient. Um, so I can tab or I can tab. It's pretty great. But yeah, I should really trim my fingernails. It's not like a personal body decision for me to have long fingernails or anything like that. It is just that I tend to not notice that I need to trim my fingernails until I notice that I need to trim my fingernails. Otherwise, um, they barely inconvenience me in normal life, I suppose. But whenever I'm typing in the keyboard and I'm hitting other keys by accident, that's the moment to trim my fingernails. Maybe I can use the potions of experience to learn other skills outside of the dungeon, like cooking or stock marketing. Yeah, professional gambling, I like to call it. Have you ever seen the subreddit Wall Street Bets? It is a community of people that do precisely what it says on the label. Hey, look at that! We got the best item that the game has to offer. Give me that. Okay, we have no issues with anything anymore when it comes to resistances. Best item in the game. Really, the ultimate item. It is so good. This is a really great character to show how the Hat of the Alchemist is fantastic. This character is wearing willpower, which I guess I will keep on, and force laying. If I had another source of willpower, I could reasonably take off the ring of willpower and equip more slaying. Um, or protection or something like that. The Hat of the Alchemist replaces all of your rings and like pretty much all of your gear and lets you wear whatever gives you the best defenses or the best of whatever you want to have. Doesn't require you to have a dedicated resistance to electricity item or so. It's such a good item. It really is fantastic. People, like some people are of the opinion that the fact that it is -2 makes it bad, but I very strongly disagree with that assessment. Um, Even back in the day when I was not such a decent player of Crawl, I always thought that it was like suspicious that people didn't like this item with these many crazy resistances. Um, but now I know for sure that the item is fantastic. Um, but yeah, anyway, back to Wall Street bets. Um, Something that has made me resist getting into that kind of thing, stock market and like crypto trading and stuff. Like holding crypto is different from crypto trading, and nowadays I don't really hold that much crypto anymore because I needed to cash out for some stuff. When it was like my uncle's funeral last year, I cashed out a lot of it to help pay for the expenses and that kind of stuff. So yeah, don't really have much crypto anymore, but crypto trading and stock trading, that kind of thing, just feels like professional gambling to me. Um, there is a well-known saying that says that you shouldn't really invest what you're not willing to lose when it comes to that kind of thing. And I'm not really willing to lose any of my money. Like I'm really short on that. Um, so that's why I never really got into doing that kind of thing. Mm. But anyway, we did Elf, and doing Elf was the most wonderful decision because it gave me the Hat of the Alchemist. So now I have no issues when it comes to resistances for the rest of the game. This is fantastic. Let's go do the Abyss. Let's see if the Abyss kills me. Um, I'm going to the Abyss, and I will drink the potions once I hit experience level 24. Okay, we got sent to Abyss 1. Wow. I see 2 rendered rings. I am interested. I wanna get in there. It looks kind of like a trap, but it doesn't look like a death trap. It might be a death trap, however. You know what? It might be in my best interest to drink a potion of 3 now. Maybe blink, then drink a potion of 3, actually. We have 5 blinking. I think that blinking is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. I would have blinked into the exit, but the reason why I didn't is because the lurking horror was next to it. So blinking into the exit would have gotten me tormented, and that's pretty dangerous. The lurking horror is not coming towards me because it can see me through the wall, but it just doesn't know how to reach me. That's convenient. Okay, we get tormented, but we get tormented after everything else is dead, so it doesn't matter. Okay, damnation, getting the job done, carrying. Now that I have done this, let me pick up my rendered rings that I so rightfully earned. This is worthless. And let's pick up the other one, which is... Oh no, it's not a rendered ring, it's a falchion. Disappointing. Well, let's get out then. Oh, why did I... Did I drop my only potion of cancellation? Or did I not pick it up? Okay, I do want to pick that up. But I don't want to get in there again. Yeah, whatever. I have 7. I'm not gonna use them all. Cancellation is an important thing to have, but if I have 7, I know that I'm not gonna run out of them. Gateway leading out appears. Okay, I'll take it, just because I'm at half HP. I might want to continue drinking potions of mutation, actually. But the main reason why I haven't is because I am a bit concerned about the possibility of disaster striking in Sot and me having to drink potions of mutation. That always happens. Yeah, it happens especially if you run out of potions of mutation. You can be sure that it's gonna happen if you have 0 potions of mutation. The Brazilian version of Wall Street Bets jokes about selling bolo de pote, like cupcake, but literally made in a cup. Only fans and betting on sports sites. Huh. Yeah, gambling is crazy. Blows my mind that people submit myself to that, to be completely honest. Which is funny to mention because I am thinking about going into Kick, which is a platform funded by gambling money. And it's crazy to even think about it, but I still think that it might be more ethical to stream there than it is to stream on Twitch. Yeah, streaming on Twitch is making an ultra-rich corporation even richer, whereas in Kick, like they barely take a cut. That's the main reason why I am considering making the switch because of that. Mm. Finally found a gateway deeper into the abyss. Took me a while. I found it and I immediately switched the abyss. Oh, never mind that it is. Okay, let's go in there. I'm finding all the exits now just so that I don't find them later on when I have the rune. Keep it in mind. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. And to think that normally it is so difficult to find the exit when you actually want to get out. Wretched Stars are some of my least favorite enemies in all of Crawl. I feel like Wretched Stars can ruin your run if you are not really strong. Like, obviously this character is really strong, so Wretched Stars are not really a concern. But imagine if I didn't have all this slaying or damnation, or the character has a really bunch of really strong stuff. If it was the kind of character that was barely scraping by, doing dealing with a wretched star might put me below the threshold of being strong enough to do certain things, and it might get me killed. I know because I've been in a position very similar to that in the past. That's why they are some of my least favorite enemies. Where's the rune? It's right there. Okay, let's go over there. Hold on. Earlier on I said that damnation wasn't that loud, but now it seems pretty loud to me. Yeah, look at the damnation explosion. At the noise bar when I shoot damnation, it goes up pretty high. I guess that the sound scales with the damage output. Whole controversy here because a lot of famous YouTubers were making ads for a gambling platform, were actually a scam. We don't actually know who owns the company because it's operating in a legal gray area. That sounds pretty vile. I think that monetizing your audience like that is extremely morally reprehensible, since after all, your audience made you what you are. Um, that's why, like, I have had the opportunity to advertise Raid Shadow Legends, and I respect my time and your time enough to not do it. Um, I wouldn't take such a sponsorship. It was also only for like $100, so like definitely not worth it to sacrifice your integrity as a content creator for $100. Um, the room was right there, but like I was also at half HP, so I didn't want anything to do with that. We can be patient when it comes to this rune. We're strong enough to afford to be patient. Okay, killing that profane servitor took me a while. Between its high evasion and the fact that it was healing from hitting me, it really took me a good amount of time to kill it. Unfortunate, but we emerged victorious. The sumo tournament is about to start. I think it starts in like a week, and I'm kind of excited for it. I've always liked sumo. Um, For some reason, well, not for some reason, like I know exactly why it happened. Since my uncle had his fatal accident during the sumo season, like I've never felt the same passion when it comes to sumo. Like it just reminds me of my uncle's accident, but I still like it. I still feel like watching it very frequently. So it could be worse. I could just drop it altogether. Um, For a while after the accident, I was in a spot where like I didn't even know if I was gonna continue streaming and stuff like that. But I am glad that I decided to keep going with it. I don't like this situation. I think that I'm about to get sick from the. Oh no, it's a world binder. I thought that it was an ancient time. That is another world binder. I still should kill them because they can summon some really messed up stuff. Yep, there's someone spamming, all right. Yeah, I guess I have to blink over here. There's really no other choice than to blink over here. Wow. I got heal wounds for 15. That's really rough. By the way, I just leveled up to 24. Should I drink them now? I mean, it doesn't really do a lot in the middle of a fight, and I probably should not waste some of my valuable turns drinking a potion of experience. I'll wait until 25, I suppose. I'll get to 25 quickly in Sot anyway. Do I have Ambrosia? Because Ambrosia would be good now. Now that I have killed everything that there was to kill. Now, where's the rune? I'm really close to the rune, am I not? I find it really funny when the Abyss generates doors like this. Um, no, but for real, the rune there. This is a rune vault, and the game told me that the rune was here, but I don't see it. That is not the rune, that's a monster. I think I might need haste for this. It's a good thing that I have a lot of money that I can get haste with. Yeah, the main reason why some people consider Gozak to be the strongest of the gods in the game is because you get access to almost infinite haste in the late game. At a point in the game where you're gonna want a lot of infinite haste, um, or a lot of near infinite haste. Yeah, haste spell was super busted back in the game. Back in the day when it existed. If you have never played the version with haste as a spell, you should consider giving it a try at least once, just so that you have the context for it. Was Control Blink OP too? Immensely. Control Blink was more expensive to get than Haste since it was level 7, and I think it was also Charms translocation. I think it was Charms translocation, but it may have been only translocations. Um, oh, careful with the elephant. That could kill me at this amount of HP. Yeah, scroll blinking. I think I'm gonna drink cancellation to get rid of the sickness. Curare. I have 17. I can afford to lose one. Careful with its breath weapon. Its breath weapon hits as hard as a normal fire. Okay, found another gateway leading out. I don't know where the rune is. Like, the game told me, hey, there's a rune, but I don't see it in the screen, so I'm starting to think the game scammed me. That or I picked up the rune already, which I haven't done. Considering how low on HP I am, I think that the correct thing to do is to leave. I'm absolutely not grinding experience, by the way. I hate doing that. If it was up to me, I would have gone to SOT already. But that is not possible. A cloak of preservation. I don't need that, but if I didn't have a rune, or if I didn't have a good cloak, I would be very happy to have found that cloak of preservation. You know, it's kind of starting to feel like it doesn't make any sense to fight here unless you're hasted, because I don't feel like you kill things fast enough. Also, I got to Abyss 4 for some reason. Why am I in Abyss 4? I was in Abyss 3 before. I never want to go below Abyss 3 because I feel like that's the point where things start to get kinda scary when it comes to the Abyss. Okay, it's happening again. Yeah, we just get into what seems like an endless fight. Resistance might, haste and heal wounds, so pricey. Other than, like, when I get sick, that's when my HP starts to drop. It seems that one source of regen is strong enough for me to be okay when it comes to the Abyss. Wow, I have 2 gateway leading out in adjacent tiles just because I've gained so much experience fighting random stuff here. Where's the rune? The rune is somewhere around here, right? Like in this direction. Yeah, it is definitely on this direction. This looks like it is, yeah, Rune Light. Oh, it's right there. I can see it. Or, well, I cannot see it, but it is in this tile. So I'm very close to it. Okay, let me port it. This is the moment where I am regretting not putting like 4 levels into evocations. Or like into translocations. Or not quite, because I was able to get to it. Now let's generate an exit or get me to that exit, please. Please, game. Okay. Is that an empty Arch of Ancient Stone just to bait the player? Okay, no, 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 don't do that. No, let me in. Okay, okay. So now let's go do SOT. Now that I have 3 runes, I can go do SOT. I'm gonna do enough SOT to level up to 25, then I drink the 2 potions, I get to 27, and then we just dive straight to SOT 5. That's, I think, the best strategy. Okay, I think that this is the kind of situation where we want to use the penetration arbalest. Taking some damage. My resiliency is actually one of my weakest spots. We are not strong enough to deal with a bunch of Berserk Dragons at the same time. Also, just stabbing the Draconian Annihilator at this amount of HP was kind of scary. We don't have to worry about resistance to electricity anymore. I suspect that I walked into some kind of nasty vault. Yeah, that was absolutely some kind of nasty vault. Well, at least this time there's no Moth of Wrath to really make these guys into a serious threat. Alright, that went very well. Yeah, this character is super strong. Who would have guessed that 9 slaying alongside launchers would get me so far? Remember, enough experience for level 25 and then we skedaddle away from the rest of these. Oh, come on, you gotta be joking. Okay, it's actually getting pretty scary. That's insane. A single Death Cough and Tentacle Monstrosity almost killed me. Just 2 monsters. That's kinda crazy. Okay, Josephina. You have no friends, so I think that I can beat you without a lot of difficulty. Oh wow, she's actually dealing a good amount of damage to me. Everything deals so much damage when you're a Draconian because you don't have proper armor class. It's kind of a shame. Unfortunate perils of the Draconian condition. About to level up to 25. I'm really looking forward to it, so I can finally drink these potions of experience. Because the longer I have them, the longer I run into the possibility of being the one who died with 2 identified potions of experience in inventory. and I don't want to be that person. And I also do not want to do this. I was thinking of hasting for this fight, but I think it's okay. Yeah, we just saw a lot of employed Draconians here. Okay, this Draconian might be an issue. It certainly is behaving like it's gonna be an issue. Haste. Yeah. Draconian Knights are so pesky, so difficult to kill, especially when they go invisible. I don't like how invisibility for monsters gives them extra evasion. Well, for the player, I think it does, but it is hidden. It is not marked like as an increase in your evasion stat. I think that you just have an accuracy penalty, or like the monsters have an accuracy penalty versus you, see if they cannot see invisible, just like you have an accuracy penalty versus invisible monsters. But to level up to 25, almost there. I'm about to be ready to leave the rest of SOT behind. In fact, this guy might do it. Yep. Okay. Okay, dexterity. So we went from 231 HP to 264. Yeah, pretty much. From 231 to 264. That seems pretty good to me. That's as strong as we're gonna get when it comes to leveling up. So the only thing left to do is to leave this accursed place by winning the game. It's looking pretty rough though. Like these stairs, all three of stairs are pretty bad. Oh, you know what? I have these. Yeah. I'm gonna clear this level because I don't like that the upstairs are blocked by nasty monsters. Have you guys gotten any effect, like or like not any effect, any value out of the scrying that you get from the scroll of magic mapping? Has that been useful to you in any way whatsoever? Have you been in any situation where you are like, oh man, like in this situation I need that effect like right now? Um, or has it not been an issue in any way whatsoever? Like, has it not been impactful? Because for me, I haven't really been playing a lot of crawl, especially not since it was implemented. But it really hasn't been impactful enough for me to think about like, oh man, I really am glad that I have that beyond the normal magic mapping stuff. Like magic mapping is good because it's magic mapping, not because it reveals like the scrying part of it is pretty non-impactful. Is what I'm trying to say. Man, that's a lot of Draconians. How much digging do I have? 23. That's good enough. You didn't use the clairvoyance intentionally, but it saved you from some two-headed ogres and wyverns. That's nice. Okay, just because I have enough digging to actually deal with the Draconians that are encased in those cages. I don't like this bolt. This bolt is a check for wand of digging. Like, do you have enough charges of digging to deal with however many cages of Draconians we are going to place here, or do you not? Well, got pretty scary. Went for double damnation right at the end. This is once again Draconian Knights. Let's shoot damnation at the Draconian Knights. Gonna try to charm this guy. I have 20 evocations. It has a 69% chance to get charmed. Okay, it got charmed first try. Lucky me. That is really an oddity. Like not the kind of thing that's gonna happen very frequently. There we go. Man, Draconian Knights are so scary. They're really, really strong. Like they deal a lot of damage. They're very resilient. They're not that good to fight against on characters that are not incredibly robust like this one. Yeah, this one is on the squishy side of things. It has crazy damage output. Like so much in fact that it may not be unreasonable to wear something like harm on this character. But on the other hand, I don't want to wear harm and just like explode spontaneously to some random garbage. I've had that happen a good amount of times already. Even on characters where I thought that was not gonna happen, it happened. We're almost done here. This is significantly less painful than usual because I have a ranged weapon. If I didn't have a ranged weapon, this would be a pretty insufferable process, killing all of these Draconians. But I can open the gates and kill them in like 3 turns after opening the gates, no matter what they do pretty much. Whereas with a melee weapon it would be a significantly more annoying process. Shouldn't have been using damnation probably, because it's making a ton of noise. Okay, time to switch to this. Oh man, the purple Draconian made me lose my spot, but at least it was fine. Okay, we have killed all that we need to kill in this level. We can just exclude the rest. And by the rest I mean the 2 remaining Draconians. Okay, final level. Read Revelation. What do we have here? This is actually a pretty benevolent half of the bolt. Okay, this is not gonna be difficult at all. Thank you for staying with me throughout the entirety of this character's journey. I hope that you have enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed it. This has been a very nice revelation of a character for me. And what I mean is that like this character made me realize that I have a character that I can, like a species that I can play if I want to go for launchers. That is that doesn't really lose anything from using launchers as they are nowadays, because they were already pretty crippled in the armor department, not being able to wear any. So yeah, Draconians with launchers also seems like a really good idea, because launchers make it so that you don't get meleeed by stuff, or like make it less likely that you get meleeed by stuff. And Draconians are pretty bad when it comes to withstanding melee. So yeah. Somehow, and despite the fact that I put literally 0 level ups into intelligence, my intelligence is my highest stat. Yeah, we have 6 intelligence from gear. Why do I have 6 intelligence from gear? Why couldn't that be dexterity instead of intelligence? Yeah, imagine if I had 6 dexterity on top of the 2 dexterity that I have from the boots. It would certainly be pretty nice. Do we have resistance? We have 5. That's a pretty good thing. Okay, resistance. Potion of Enlightenment. Haste. Yeah, I couldn't afford to use Ghost Egg there. Okay, I'm absolutely destroying these orbs so far. I have no idea how none of those shots missed, but I'm not gonna complain. Okay, yeah, bring on the orbs so far. We're okay. I have 3 pips of fire resistance and a lot of damage output. That ignores armor class. Monster armor class is a very nice thing to ignore. Okay, there's a ghost mod, but we don't care about having mana, fortunately. Turned into a wisp. Do I want to drink cancellation? No, no, I don't want to drink cancellation. I'm gonna take all of my buffs and I'm gonna walk away from here with them. In a bit of a more dangerous situation, I would have absolutely drank cancellation. By the way, I should bribe branch. That's the main reason to go sack, that you can bribe branch sod 5. I already killed a good amount of the level, so it's likely that this bribe will last me for the entirety of the rest. Man, that first one is expensive and it has Circ. Did Gosak get nerfed and now offers you Circ a lot more often or something? Because it really feels like that. Jeez. Okay, the Demon Whip is crazy good. Like, that deleted the Orb Guardian so quickly. I am aware that I have haste, and that probably contributed a lot. Well, haste and might. But still, Demon Whip is one of the best weapons that to take advantage of the things that I have, like not only the haste and might, but also the slaying. You know what? That's a lot of enemies, and I don't really need to deal with them. I'm just gonna run in this direction now. Don't need to deal with that kind of negativity in my life. Horrorfire jingling coin purses. Yep. Almost shot at the a friendly Orb Guardian. Not that it would have let me anyway. Surg. It has Poison Arrow, Haste, and no evasion. Nothing to really worry about. We're gonna kill it because we can. Unfortunately, no sniper, but we did get something really cool um, from going to Elf. We got. Oh, you're immune to damnation. Yeah, okay, that I don't want to fight. I'm gonna blink in its opposite direction because I can afford to do it. Because it's the orb run. How likely is it to miss? It's actually a 61% chance to hit. Yep. Once again, I don't want to fight Hell Sentinels. Should I blink here? I think that I have high enough HP to not really worry about that. Yeah, I got hit by one damnation and things are still okay. I can even like be extra safe and rest on these stairs before going up. Yeah, the blink might be necessary later. Might need it out of the dungeon. Um, another Panlord. Another Panlord with no evasion. I'm glad that the game is being benevolent enough to throw Panlords with no evasion at me. This one has Orb of Destruction, but I don't really care. Yeah, how am I going to make a living after picking up the Orb of Sod if I sell everything, right? You make a good point, and we have emerged victorious. Twitch.tv/9th settler, and we also inscribe these with youtube.com/@9settler. I wonder if anyone has ever visited my YouTube through the link. I know that people have visited the Twitch through the inscription, but I wonder about the YouTube. If you found my YouTube through that, because you were expectating or so, do let me know. I would appreciate it quite a bit. Yeah. This was a character. Yeah. What did we not have? We didn't have shield and body armor, just Draconian things. Um, it was an interesting run. I enjoyed it. It was very powerful. Yep. I got to enjoy launchers again. I hadn't enjoyed them for a while, for a very long time. Did I change? No, I did change my stream stuff. It's just that in my stream program it still appears to be outdated, like the old information. Um, I've been streaming under the crawl category, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and thank you for hanging out. If you enjoyed what you saw, you could consider following if you haven't already, or subscribing on YouTube because that is more likely to see more content than this place in the near future. I'm probably gonna switch to Kick or to streaming on YouTube altogether, as I have been talking about. This seems like the perfect occasion to do so. And if you really liked it, you can consider subscribing on Patreon. I would advise you against subscribing on Twitch unless you want to make use of the emotes. I won't de-affiliate or anything, and I might like stream once every 6 months here just to retain the affiliate status. But yeah, I might switch to Kick. I'm probably going to do so, in fact. Regardless, I still appreciate all your support, and I don't really have any plans to stop making content. But it's probably gonna slow down because, as I have mentioned already, it is kind of difficult for me to want to play crawl. Sometimes I just don't want to, as I said at the beginning of the stream. And if I don't want to play, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to start the stream because I'm not gonna have a good time. And if I'm not having a good time, I'm not gonna be able to play well. And I'm more likely to kill my characters. That does happen a good amount. But not today, not today. Yeah, the game was benevolent today. I got some really good stuff. I started a random Chaos Knight, and it ended in a victory. So yeah, have a nice rest of your night, everyone.